Okay.
What is it? Oh yeah. That's what all the comments are.
Come to your garden, I eat from your tree, I step in your river, and it takes me deep. Your heart is my temple, your tears rinse my feet. I walk out, I'm able to carry your peace. Simple melody playing over and over in my dreams.
What's up, everybody? We are live here in the Lion's Den on a Tuesday night. About to get it live, get it going. Shout out to everybody who is checking in. Make sure you share this video, hit that like button. You are watching Young Lion TV.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
Yeah, Young Lion TV, like we do it every Tuesday night. We are live in the Lion's Den. I got my brothers with me, so I gotta give the shout outs to first and foremost my brother, my Asian brother over there with the dope Star Wars t-shirt there. He is the coolest Asian in the gang, Mr. Simone Chang. I don't know if people can hear us. Can everybody hear us? Can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear us? Make sure if you can hear us, let us know in the chat.
Give us a thumbs up.
Again, I don't know if they heard us, but if not, again, the coolest Asian in the gang. I got my brother Simone Chang with me.
You sound far, Jessica said.
We sound far. What about now? Let us know what we sound like now.
We have no headphones.
Now we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, so we got Simone in the building. We got Jake, my big brother, in the building right now.
What's up?
Jake Eugene Evans, the code.
Jacob Eugene Evans. I hated Eugene growing up.
Yeah.
Hated that name, but I've grown to like it.
Okay. And of course, last but not least, we got the best producer in the world, our mother, Miss Angelique Lopez over there. And we are the Young Lion Podcast. If you've never watched us before, welcome to the Lion's Den. This is what we do every Tuesday, where we're just a group of, we have some other people that join us frequently. Our brother James Garcia and Stan Golden, the Black Batman. But they're not here right now, so we're holding it down. But if you haven't seen us before, we're a group of brothers and family members and just lifelong friends that have learned a lot of things along the way growing up and becoming men, and also our journey following Jesus. And a lot of the things that we've learned, we like to talk about those things and see how they impact culture and see how the things that culturally shaped us growing up influenced our lives in a lot of ways. So we like to talk about things in the world that we see, mistakes that we've made, talk about those things, hash them out in together. We've always done that, but with this podcast, it was something that we wanted to show an example of men who, are not just trying to go with the trends that everyone else goes with and trying to follow a greater path and trying to build community, build family, be good fathers, good leaders, put those things first. Instead of all the other things that culturally we're told are supposed to be important, which whether it's, grinding for the best car or the best house or, chasing women, all of those things that we culturally can fall into. So if that's something that you want to get behind, you can support us. You can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/YoungLionTV. Become a member over there for as little as $3 a month. You can sign up and become one of our Patreon members. Also, we have the merch on our merch store. You can see the hats that we're wearing and the t-shirt I got on here. And we got hoodies. We got all kind of stuff at the merch store. You can hit that link in the description and get some Young Lion merch and just show off that you're part of the pride that way. Also, one of the best things you can do is hit that like button and share this video, because the algorithm does not favor our live streams. We get a little more love on our clips that we post and our little reels and shorts that we post. We get some love. But the live stream, man, I tell you. But we do appreciate those that join us every week. I see y'all in the chat already. I see Jess in there. I see Courtney, one of our Patreon members, our King level Patreon member. I see Jeff in there, one of our biggest supporters. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys share this video. I think that's it. Shout out if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble right now. I think Stan is probably watching over on Rumble, man. We miss you, bro. I saw you. You went over there and saw the baby.
I went and spent some time with the baby. Gave the kids their present and just chilled.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you got
Haven't been over there for a while, you know. but-
since that time we all went there. And
Yeah, that was the last time I saw
that was a
them.
while ago. Yeah. Is he coming to the Christmas party?
He is.
So I'll be looking forward to seeing you over there. Yeah, man.
Hopefully he's making a brisket.
But speaking of that, Christmas time is coming. This is the last week.
Yeah.
Everyone getting their shopping done. You guys shopping done?
A couple things that I need to get, but pretty much done.
It's like exponentially becoming more and more people to buy gifts for as our families grow and as like just we get older and our community grows. It's
I
like,
just get stuff for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even.
Of
we
course.
don't even.
But that's what I mean. There's more kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the amount of kids just keeps growing, so you end up having to continue to get more and more stuff.
I went a little bit today, man. It was like 4:00.
Yeah.
It was so busy.
Yeah. So over the weekend, one of the things that I really enjoyed was we took the kids, me and Jake and my mom came to, and we went to this nativity presentation talking about the birth of Jesus and his journey. And it was just like one of the things that I was kind of like, it was annoying at first, but then I was thinking about it and I was like, why am I looking at it that way? Like when we showed up and it was so packed, because Jake had been there. How many times you been there?
Twice.
You've been there twice before, like a couple years before that. And when I showed up, he was like, "Yo, it's never been this many people. It's so packed. There was a long line. It was a long wait to even get into the building, to then get into the waiting area, to then get to even go through the nativity presentation." And at first you're like annoyed, like, man, this is taking long. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, look how many people are here trying to teach their families about what the meaning of Christmas really is. You know, instead of just the normal
Santa
just
Claus, Santa line.
watching Home Alone, buying gifts, Christmas shopping, you know, what am I getting, hanging stockings, all that stuff. There was people that were really teaching their families, wanting to learn, and a lot of them just wanting to see the presentation of like how Jesus was born, the story of his life, and what the significance of that was to the world. And you know, seeing.
Do you have any clips from it?
I do, but I forgot to get them prepped. You had some too, right?
Yeah, I'll send you one while you're talking about
Okay.
it, just so you could like.
But it was like to see so many different cultures too. Like, you know, there was black people, white people, Asian people, Indians, Spanish, like everything was there.
That's the same feeling that I black. It's you know, it's everybody, young kids. I saw this one girl that was she must have been like maybe like 13. Just
Yeah.
you can tell she had a fire for the Lord.
Wow.
You know, it's I feel like it's shifting, dude.
Dude.
As you're talking, like I'm thinking about we were in the mall and the Santa line was like Santa was like falling asleep. There's nobody in
Bro,
line.
and how many more people, I don't know if y'all noticed this, how many more people do you hear saying Merry Christmas?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
openly saying it, making a point to say it. As I go places, I'm in
I make a
the
point to say
supermarket.
it.
Yeah.
I'm in Wawa. I'm in wherever I'm going. Like people are saying Merry Christmas again.
Yeah.
Like it's
Because
I
they
sent you a text. Is that how you get them?
yeah. You can send me a text.
Picture of Mary, Joseph, and the baby. It came out so pretty.
Okay. Shout out to Donnie Estrada checking in. We haven't seen you in a while. Shout out to Emma, one of our Patreon members. He said, greetings, guys. Donnie said, my brothers, man. Shout out to Brendan, my teammate over there. He said, hey, guys. James says, hi. What's up, James? That's my little buddy.
He's my parent teammate.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull this stuff up. Yeah. It's but yeah, it was cool, man.
Yeah, it was. Shout out to Fellowship Community Church in Mount Laurel. They do a really good job, man. And I did some research on their church. Really, really good church. It seems like, I mean, I've never been there for a service, but it seemed I did a lot of study on what they believe in, their theology, because, you know, sometimes you can get some wanky stuff. But
Yeah.
But it seemed like they're pretty solid, so shout out to them. And
Do they do it again? Like, is it?
they do it every year.
Is it? Oh, so it's done. It's
It's
just
done,
that one
yeah.
date.
They do it for like, I think 3 weeks, 3 weekends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
But
I wanted to go, but
I was
you know.
even thinking about like the people they're all volunteers and
Mm-hmm.
how much they're putting into that, and
Yeah.
you know, all the work it takes to put that on.
Just think about how they had to act out those scenes
Over and
every
over.
time a new group comes. They have to act out that scene again.
Yeah.
Like this one in particular. This is the scene of so they take you through Bethlehem, and then this is where they're in the manger, of course, and that's a real donkey too that they had there. And so they just tell the story of Jesus being born. They have speakers everywhere, like little loudspeakers everywhere, and they play like some scenes are just like a narrator voiceover, and then the people are just sitting there acting out the scene, and then there's other scenes where the people are actually like acting and doing the things, which was cool.
It was kind of funny to see the angel go up in that thing.
Yeah.
This electric thing that took the angel up, but then he had to hide in this thing for a while.
Yeah.
It was funny. He was in there.
Well, no, that was Jesus.
That was
Oh,
Jesus.
that was Jesus?
Yeah.
And the angel did go up too, right?
Yeah, but you're
Oh,
putting them
okay.
together. Mom, you can put it on yourself when you talk. But yeah, they go all out. That was funny though. At the end, they show the last scene is Jesus going into the clouds, like, where he's, you know,
Risen.
rising up in the clouds, and his disciples are down. And you can see at the end where like they're talking and stuff, and he's just sitting in the cloud, like just waiting up there
Yeah.
for a while until everybody leaves.
He
and
has
then
to wait
comes
for
back
the
down.
next group to come, and then he comes back down. Yeah, but it was definitely cool. Let me see if I'm trying to wait for your airdrop scene to come through.
I sent you a text. It's the same one.
A text? Okay.
Yeah, just because the airdrop was taking forever.
Okay. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, you can pull it up, Mom. Oh, this was the scene. So this was the scene when which scene was
This
this?
is a scene right before, well, a couple scenes before Mom's picture, where the angel comes to the shepherds.
Mm-hmm.
And just a little backstory with the shepherds, because
Yeah.
people don't understand, like, shepherds were not, like, these shepherds were they were Levitical shepherds, which means that these were the sheep that they would get ready for the Passover. Like, not just the Passover, but these were sheep that they would use for sacrifices.
Right.
And they had to keep these sheep pristine,
Right.
right? So
Without spot nor wrinkle.
these weren't any, like, regular sheep or regular shepherds.
Yeah.
They were Levitical shepherds. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the angel up there.
So I'll play it. Oh, it's not playing. Why is it not playing? I don't know why it's not playing. Let me try to reload it.
Yeah, but it was cool, Mo. Mo missed it because
Yeah,
his
the
family got sick.
The fam got sick.
So maybe next year.
Yeah, I text Jake like, "Yo, we going."
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to get everybody to go because I've seen it, and I want you guys to share in my joy.
Yeah, it's not playing.
Okay. Oh, well.
But anyway, so they have you like walk through their land outside, and they have all these different scenes set up, and like they didn't have sheep, but they had goats.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
funny, too.
yeah.
They do that every year. It's like, I
Um,
guess the goats are easier to get than
but
the sheep.
one of
Yeah.
the scenes one of my favorite parts was the actual like Roman, or no, the like
Bethlehem,
the
yeah.
Bethlehem town square marketplace.
Yeah.
Like they had it set up like a marketplace, and there was like these real like fully looked like movie level costume Roman
wow.
soldiers.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
they had swords and everything. The kids loved that part. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and
At
our
least
kids
he just studied
She just
the
studied
Romans.
it,
That's
right?
why
Oh,
she
yeah?
So,
got
we were,
excited.
talking about that because she was like, which soldiers are these? I was like, these are the Roman soldiers. She was like, she was testing me, like I wouldn't know. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool, man. I'm glad. Like I said, it was good to see how many people were there.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We parked, Jake parked in another area, like where the homes are. Like we just parked in the street there.
Hmm.
The whole place was crowded.
Wow.
Shout out to Theris. I see you watching on YouTube. She said hello, family. All right, let's get into some stuff. Okay, so first thing I want to get into, we got some breaking news, y'all. I don't know if you guys saw this.
breaking
Pull this up, Mom. So, Colorado Supreme Court disqualifies Donald Trump from the state's primary ballot after a legal challenge. So, Colorado is the first state to officially try to remove him from the ballot citing the 14th Amendment situation, using the insurrection as an excuse to remove him from the ballot completely. So I don't know what this means for like the rest of the. If
I don't think they're gonna be able to. I don't think it can hold.
He's probably going to sue and try to take it to
Yeah.
the Supreme Court and see. But this is showing what they're trying to do. They're
Yeah.
intending to do. You know, is to totally make him not an option because he's like. It's not even close. They're talking about
Yeah, the polls that just came out
yeah
on MSNBC.
yeah even the polls, all of the skewed polls towards Democrats show him. It's like there's no way Biden can win.
They're panicking. That's why they're doing all this stuff.
Yeah, of
course.
So,
But do you think they're gonna get rid of Biden and try to get somebody else?
Slide Newsom, and that's their.
I think it's a possibility that they try to slide Newsom in there.
Or how about Kamala?
Nah, I can't see them using Kamala. Like she
But she's vice president. Wouldn't it be like how will they? Because maybe she would expect it, right?
She might expect it, but I think they'll have a tough conversation with her. Like, listen,
Yeah.
you don't have a chance. We're not going to waste any dollars. You know, how, like the DNC and the RNC, these organizations totally try to manipulate and control who are the candidates. Like, you look at how the head of the RNC has already vowed to not spend $1 on Vivek because he's not one of their. But Nikki Haley, they love her.
Yeah.
You know,
But they're
Even-
not allowed to do that though. That's not. They were like. Didn't she say?
Technically,
Didn't she
they're
say
allowed.
something? You're not getting any of my money or something like that.
She said he won't get $1 from us.
Yeah, but that's not your money.
Yeah, it's not
That's
your money.
taxpayer.
It's donation.
Donation.
money, not taxpayer. Donation money.
But it's still not.
Republican voters, their money.
That
you know.
donate to Republican.
Right. Candidates.
Yeah.
So the RNC can. Yeah, but that whole system. I mean, I think it's again, it's showing the flaws in that system and how you can have these two channels of power that manipulate our elections. The DNC, the RNC is like everyone has to be funneled through there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. I
I
mean,
think
you
that
see,
was-
you see the whole Larry Elder thing. He kind of exposed how corrupt it is.
Yeah.
You
for
know,
sure.
and he's Republican.
Yep. Donnie said, "Yep, I think they're going to slide someone in there at the last minute." Who do you think, Donnie? I think Gavin Newsom.
Newsom.
He seems like the biggest.
I think Gavin Newsom, Michelle
Obama could be a huge possibility.
You really don't? You think they're gonna?
I think they're gonna have that conversation with her, like your country needs you type conversation. I don't think she really wants to run. I don't think Michelle wants to run. I don't think Michelle wants that smoke. I don't think like
There's a lot of there's
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of
a
smoke.
lot of smoke
There's a lot of
around
smoke with the Obamas. We
Obamas
ain't
right
gonna
now.
get into
Yeah,
it.
There's a lot of smoke
Please don't
around
get
the
into
Obamas.
it, Mom.
I think they kind of want to lay low. I think they feel like they got away scot free in a lot of sense. You know.
Yeah, they're trying to make movies now.
Yeah. Now they're making Netflix movies.
Recent
that are-
smoke.
Did you watch that movie, by the way?
I did.
Hot garbage.
Yes.
What movie?
Hot garbage.
The Obama.
What was it? What was it called?
I didn't even know it was an Obama movie. I don't remember.
It was on Netflix with Julia Roberts.
Oh, I watched that.
You watched it?
That was their movie.
Yeah, they produced it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it wasn't like people were talking about it. It wasn't even all that to me.
exactly.
My cousin wants to watch it, and I go like this. I'm like, I don't.
Watch it. No, but watch it just so you can
Yeah.
gain perspective on it.
It's
Thera said she should run. She would win hands down.
Oh,
Leave the world behind. Thank you,
Leave
Courtney.
the world
That's
behind.
what it's called.
I
Leave
just,
the,
I just saw it when you said it.
Courtney posted it. Leave the world behind.
she
Was the
should
movie.
run. Talking about Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
She should run.
You know what's funny is like that movie was talking about a cyber attack on the country by foreign agents that wanted to destabilize the country, but by using our own division against us to fight the war for them, basically to destroy the country from within because we're so divided.
Mhm.
Who are the ones trying to divide so much?
they're just speaking the truth in that movie.
Jess said that movie freaked me out.
Yeah, it freaked her out. She's like, babe, we should look into getting some like supplies and stuff just to.
You guys are gonna be preppers.
We're gonna.
You guys got a little basement.
bomb.
You got a little bunker down there.
You build a little bomb shelter.
Dude, did y'all see that story about Mark Zuckerberg's bunker
Yes,
Hawaii?
In Hawaii.
in Hawaii?
Yes.
He got caught. He was trying to keep it under wraps.
Compound.
His compound, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But his is like a serious bomb shelter bunker type thing.
He was trying to keep it under wraps.
Yeah,
What was I going to talk about?
He got the contractors to do NDAs, and it still got out because
you can't keep
can't
that. You
keep-
can't keep that quiet anymore.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
That's what I was going to mention. We're talking about movies. I saw a trailer about a Civil War movie that came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can find it. I think it's called Civil War. But like the bad guy, this is what I get from him. The bad guy is like the Republican guy who he in the trailer he had like this young girl, like I think down on her knees and asking her questions about the if she knows American history.
Oh my god.
I'm like, yo, this is so
cheesy.
obvious that you're framing.
Who wrote it? Jesse Smollett.
I don't- but it's a real movie. It's a real movie.
Brendan said, "Why in Hawaii?" That's a good question. I think this is my theory, right? Because you got Oprah buying up land in Hawaii.
The Rock.
You got The Rock buying up land. You got all these elite people buying up land in Hawaii. Why in Hawaii? Because Hawaii is not on the mainland, for one. It's out of the way of all the major cities. And I'm pretty sure, like, you can sustain yourself there if need be, you know, with resources and everything.
Yeah, you got money to if you have millions of dollars
Right.
to prep and ship everything there. You good.
Yeah.
Build a little bunker.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think it's like they pick Hawaii because it's so out the way.
Yeah.
Like if there was some kind of like attack or something, it wouldn't be nowhere near there.
Yeah.
You know, that's my theory. But yeah, so they're looking to not even give Trump the opportunity to run. We knew that was going to happen. Now we're watching it start to take place. 2024 is coming out. The other bombshell they dropped today. I don't know if you guys saw this. Pull this up, Mom, from the Daily Mail. I saw this article. So over 170 of Jeffrey Epstein's high-profile associates will be named in court documents set to be unsealed in the first days of 2024. This is a Daily Mail article. They just announced that today. that a judge finally ruled that they have to release a list of 170 Jeffrey Epstein's high-profile associates. Now, I'm still skeptical that we're going to get any real information out of this. I feel like the high-profile associates that they're talking about are going to be like people we don't care about, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But
we have no power. You mean?
Yeah, or it doesn't really do anything, you know, to expose those that were really involved in this situation. Because think about it, he went to jail, Ghislaine went to jail, but yet none of the people that they worked with have done any time. We don't even know who any of these people are.
Mm-hmm.
These people were doing some of the most heinous stuff for years, you know, implicated in a lot of high political profile positions. I don't know, man, but I'm hoping that some truth comes out, man.
Yeah, the people that worked there was nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Nothing leaked.
Yeah,
that we know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I'm gonna play a video from Anomaly. He talked about that. We'll see what he thinks about this situation. What the?
Nothing wants to play today.
Right? What's going on? All right, let's try this again. Uh-oh. This is weird.
Yo, but that Hawaii thing is weird though. Like being that all that fire
The fires
that just happened.
I know.
In Hawaii, and you know, Oprah's house didn't get burned. None of the celebrities, they had blue.
I saw something where a whole house burned down, but there was a truck that was there and didn't get touched. What color was it?
Blue. No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow, this video is
not working?
loading. Yeah. Oh well.
Probably on purpose.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on. I got another story that was crazy. I kind of sent this to y'all. I don't know if you guys looked into it or saw it. Can you pull this up, Mom?
Oh, come on, man.
Senate staffer caught filming homosexual sex tape in Senate hearing room, and they were showing it all over Twitter.
Showing
it got
the video.
leaked out. The video. He went onto the Senate floor in a hearing room and filmed himself doing pornographic stuff with another man.
This is
a Senate staffer.
Oh, Senate staffer.
Yeah, a Democratic Senate staffer, someone who worked for a Democratic senator.
Well, the way things are going, they think everything's okay.
I mean, it's crazy, right? They to totally just not give a crap about, and it's almost like they did it on purpose as a way to be like, yeah, it was almost like, you know, trying to do it in a place where it was the worst possible option, you know? Yeah, like some kind of thrill.
What are they going to do to them?
Well, he was fired, of course. He was fired. But I think they should be charged with an insurrection. Look, an insurrection, huh?
Ew.
I
Going into places you shouldn't go into.
Right. You're entering places you're not meant to go.
Well, when we got the Pope saying that it's okay.
You saw that, right? You saw that
so-
story from the Pope today? Well, he said as long as it's a ceremony that doesn't resemble a marriage.
What are we even talking about?
Bro. Now we're getting into like legal
Semantics?
loopholes. Yeah. So let me show you this breakdown. Hopefully this plays of this person talking about why it doesn't matter. Man, what's going on with Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter is.
Or X.
Come on, X.
X is under DDoS attack probably right now. What's going on? Yeah, these videos ain't working.
Elon.
There you go.
It's not playing. Not getting no audio.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not working. But anyway, yeah, so this person filmed themselves with another person in the Senate hearing room.
Donnie said that was so bad. I guess he's talking about what he did.
Yeah. But then when you look at like all of these people that people were showing on Twitter, this person and who they hired, like who he was, his profile on social media.
Uh-huh.
And you think about remember the person that was stealing all the purses
Yeah.
Yes.
that was hired?
Basically, how
same-
are you even in the position?
How are you even getting hired?
Yeah.
Who's putting you in position?
Mm-hmm.
Like they are
There's
glorifying
yeah.
a certain lifestyle
Yep.
as if it's something to advocate for. But then when it comes back to bite them,
Yeah.
you know,
You know how you can be so focused on one thing that you miss everything else.
yes,
Like
yes,
that's what happens a lot with these things. Because regardless what it is, like in the intention, I mean, like, is the intention that they want a virtue signal, that they want to show that they're
inclusive,
whatever.
right?
But whatever it is, you're gonna miss a bunch of red flags.
Right.
Donnie said no. He was talking about the joke Jamie just said.
What joke did I say? Oh,
The insurrection.
come on, man. It's
That's
almost
it.
too.
That's-
It's almost
you know that's
too
gonna
easy.
trigger him, man.
But it's almost too easy. Like, come on, you're in the Congress building, you're in the Capitol building, doing what you shouldn't be doing. Didn't Chuck Schumer accidentally like slip and say something about the erection
Yeah.
instead
he
of
did.
insurrection? He
Yeah,
said
he did.
erection. Like it's. How do you? Let me show this person. This is the guy right here, Aiden Serapsky. Said, this has been a difficult time for me as I've been attacked for who I love to pursue a political gender. Bro, you had
did-
sex in a Senate hearing room in Congress. I've been attacked for who I love.
mean-
No,
How did that leak?
to pursue a political agenda. While some of my actions in the past have shown poor judgment, I love my job and would never disrespect my workplace.
You just straight up defiled.
But you got.
He don't see it
but
as
come
disrespect.
on, man. Like you have
That's
to.
crazy.
How many people will lie to your face? Like
Yeah.
how many people will steal from H&M and act like they ain't do nothing wrong?
Yeah.
Or the reasons why they did it. Or,
Yeah.
Or now they're mad at you because you're even acting like they did something
They
wrong.
did something
Like,
wrong. Calling them out. He said, any attempts to characterize my actions otherwise are fabricated, and I will be exploring what legal options are available to me in these matters. When you want to talk about unaccountability, like, bro, you were caught.
You should
You
be
were
charged.
caught.
He should be charged. I know in other countries,
He would be.
the death penalty in China.
But I'm just saying, like, even no, just the fact. Do you think if two straight staffers were caught filming and having sex in a Senate hearing room, you don't think they would be charged? Indecent exposure, lewd behavior, something.
Is
No.
was that like, is that act that even happened and was caught have to do with where we are at as a country
Yeah.
right now? Like, does it show the level of depravity
Dishonor.
and
Yeah.
what has captured this country in
Mm-hmm.
terms of, number one, desire to do whatever you want, right? To fulfill your desires. And then number two, to be a victim in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally what we're seeing, because you can't be, now you're not even going to hold yourself accountable. You're going to be the victim.
About somebody whom I love. It's not even about that.
Yeah.
You know? It's about him
Do
doing
that in the privacy of your own.
showing everything. Come on.
Why are we, like, you don't even have to say that, Mo.
What?
Do it in
Say
the private. Do it in the private. Like, this is obvious stuff.
Yeah.
This isn't,
I know, but
like, this is obvious.
This
but-
is where the laws and legislation and the government work.
yeah.
There is no way you should be doing anything like that there. There should be an honor and a reverence for this place.
But it showed
Yeah.
there is no
There
honor,
is
there
none.
is no reverence.
But there is none, and they're putting people in position that clearly don't have that reverence, don't have, and they're employing them, and these are the people that are making decisions, that are running the country that we live in right now, that we pay
It's amazing how
taxes to.
this government, our government right now, everybody they have in, you could tell what they want. They got, what's her name, Pierre, what,
Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre,
what is she? You know, then they have the other gay guy with the long hair.
our health
Yes, yes. I mean, it's just
administrator, whatever.
Yeah,
It's obvious.
not gay, Mom. He's trans.
yeah.
Whatever that is.
Come on.
Get it right. Yeah.
He's gay.
It's-
He's gay in my book.
But yeah, I mean, does he even look healthy?
Yo, none of them.
Yeah.
None of 'em.
Who posted that? Who sent that today? I've seen that many times. That
I think
video
I
of
sent- I don't know
all
if I
the
sent
health
it to y'all.
officials around the world.
Yeah, Belgium.
The health czars that all look totally
Yeah,
unhealthy.
somebody posted that. And also the trans, somebody posted about the trans activist in New York.
Yes,
That-
I sent that
Yeah,
to y'all.
Jamie
yeah.
sent that.
That was caught pretty much raping two
Raping.
underage.
Raping?
Yeah.
Raping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's horrible, man.
Yep. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so that was going on in Congress while we were.
Nothing else goes on in Congress, but that's going on.
They can't get no work done. I mean, that shows you how much work is not getting done. That they had the freedom to go in there and film that. Yeah. So
Where's the security? You think there's security 24/7?
You would think. I mean, that's why it had to be someone who had access. You know.
He had ass.
Security when they found the coke. What? Everything is just crazy right now.
Yeah, you're talking about Hunter Biden's cocaine.
Whoa, 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 Jamie. Whoa.
Security for all of those things.
Man, I don't know if we can play any of these videos are not
Mommy
working.
said that's a word, Jake. The desire to do what you want.
Yep. Let me see if this will play. Dude, these videos are not playing. We in trouble. Let me see if I can get this to load up.
Is it just
I
X?
might not be able to play audio.
So it's
Have
just-
you guys seen this? Let me see if I can get around this. So
What is it? Something to do
So
with
this
migrants.
is Let me. I'm gonna have to do it a different way. So So in Texas, there was like thousands of people waiting to be processed, illegal migrants. I don't know if you guys can see the crowd there. Try to load it again. You can kind of see it. Let's see.
That looked like a lot of people.
Yeah. Here's another view of it. Thousands of migrants waiting to be processed in Eagle Pass just got back to the U.S. And wow, thousands of migrants with hundreds more on the way are crossing in the Eagle Pass in mass numbers. Reminds me of Del Rio 2021 Haitian migration. So people were showing this. Also at the same time, I saw from this Ashley St. Clair. She is she has a big following on Twitter. She's a conservative. She was showing, I want to show these videos, but they're not working. She was showing how she was boarding her Delta flight in Phoenix, and there was a whole line of migrants who were being flown from Arizona to wherever they wanted to go, and Delta was providing them flights. She said, my Delta flight from Phoenix appears to be flying migrants who crossed the border and are being shipped to New York. When asked the Delta representative if this was the case, his response was, what does it matter? They're humans too. What is happening? So these people are being given, not only are they being flown on Delta, they're being given, you remember how many classes Delta has?
Mm-hmm.
They're getting the premium spots.
Oh, wow.
They're getting the premium spots on the flights with taxpayer dollars. This is someone else who was in the airport who posted on Twitter. I ran into a group of African migrants from Guinea heading to New York City. They had documents from Catholic Community Service of Southern Arizona, Inc. I'm seeing migrants all over the place here at the airport. This is insane. Thank you to Current Revolt for filming, and thank you to St. Clair Ashley. That's Ashley St. Clair for blowing this up yesterday. So ever since Ashley's video, people in the airports have been spotting these people, and they spot them because there's certain tags that they have on their bags because they're getting their flights for free. These are all people from Africa on this flight. And then this video was going viral a while ago. A large group of mostly Chinese men captured on video in California crossing illegally into the United States. People, Chinese men, crossing in from Mexico.
I've been seeing a lot of videos of just military age men.
Don't these men look military age? I mean, there's a few women sprinkled in.
Yeah, they show a lot of videos. There's no women. There's no children. It's all men. Like I've seen Indians. I've seen people that look like Arabs, Africans.
Yeah.
Why? Why are they?
What is happening?
Yeah.
What is happening? So I was gonna show this because they asked Karine Jean-Pierre about it, and she says Texas's new law allowing law enforcement officials to arrest migrants entering the state from Mexico without legal authorization is not who we are as a country. It demonizes migrants and endangers their lives. So you're not supposed to apprehend them. You're not supposed, because I think Abbott just passed a law saying that law enforcement officers, not just border agents, can arrest them. So she's saying this is not who we are as a country. Like, we're supposed to just let them in. Man, it sucks that we can't get no audio on this. I wonder what's going on with X. Why it's not working.
How do we reconcile this? Like, if there's somebody in the chat that thinks that this is okay, like, how do you reconcile this? If you don't think this is okay, how do you reconcile it? Like, why do we think it's okay to just let people in, you know, and destroy our infrastructure?
Yeah.
Destroy it. Like, imagine if you just start letting people into your house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not only the fact that you got to provide, but now you got to deal with all different types of personalities. People you don't know. You're going to have to deal with their attitudes. But
look how that's affecting Europe. Look how that's affecting England, Germany, France.
Mm-hmm.
People are protesting against it now.
Mm-hmm.
Look in Chicago now. People are protesting against these migrants being brought in. these structures that they're building to house migrants when they still got family members that are homeless. They still people there are struggling to find work, but they're bringing in all these migrants. They're protesting there.
Yeah.
And then when you ask yourself, like, why are they doing this? What's the purpose of it? I saw this video from Rashida Tlaib. I can't play it because it's not working, but the caption kind of lays it out. They asked her, so it says, Democrats tell you exactly why they won't close the border live on CNN. They need a lot of immigrant voters. And Rashida Tlaib actually says this. It says, our national television Democrats are telling you that they are canceling out taxpayers, American citizens' votes with legal immigrants. Seriously, how is this allowed to continue? It says, how much backlash would he get from the left if he does agree to these changes? And she says there's gonna be a lot. We have to put together a coalition that is the same coalition we delivered in 2020 for him to win the White House, for us to win the Senate, and for us to take back the House. And that coalition involves a lot of young voters. It involves a lot of immigrant voters. It involves a lot of folks of color. So then you start thinking about why they're so hell-bent on just letting all these people in, giving them, we've seen scenarios where sheriffs out there are talking about how they're giving these people $7,000 on a Visa gift card. We see they're getting plane tickets to wherever they want to go, to New York, to Chicago, to multiple places. Like, what is the point of that? It's to change is to secure a voter base. Yeah. To secure a voter base for an election that they feel like they can't win.
Yeah, we said that a while back. I don't know. You remember?
We did
talking about that.
We've been talking about this for a long time.
They're playing that long game.
That's why when Vivek came out during the debate and he talked about that great replacement theory that the media goes crazy about and tries to make you look like a conspiracy theorist if you even bring up. It's a real thing. They're open about it at times. There was a clip of Biden talking about how, they're looking forward to the day that there's a new majority in this country.
Yeah. I just saw something. I think it's in California, but we probably can find the article. It was the first police officer, illegal immigrant police officer, that is going to graduate. And this guy was like talking about it. That means, what do they call them? A DACA?
DACA, yeah.
Yeah, first DACA illegal that's going to graduate from the police academy. That means, they have rights. They're giving them a gun.
Right.
Like the legal right to own a gun. I don't know, like, how y'all feel about that, but...
Well, I see this from... It says Illinois will allow some non-citizens to be police, but only those authorized to work and own a gun. I see that. I don't know.
No, Donnie says, who said that they will destroy it? I mean, isn't that what makes America great? I don't agree. But think about it. I don't know. What do you mean, Donnie, exactly?
What makes America great? The fact that we have immigrants? Yeah, but you can't just have people flood in without going through the process properly.
I'm an immigrant, Donnie.
Yeah, my wife is an immigrant.
Yeah.
And
right now,
she had to go through the process. Her whole family had to go through the process.
Right now, you have people in your house. Oh. Never mind. Your
Liz,
family.
Yeah.
Liz, James.
Yeah.
They had to go through the process of learning. This is what Vivek talks about. We had to be given like a book about that thick that we had to read, and I feel bad for people who can barely speak English. That's been here, the certain amount of years, was 5 years or something like that. That's hard. I remember how hard it
Yeah.
was. You know, you had to know the history of the U.S. And then these kids that are going to college, I'm watching these videos of these kids that go to college. They don't know. They don't even know who, you know, emancipated the slaves
Yeah.
or who the first president was.
Right.
It's
But it kind of reminds me of like when we were in school, and you would let somebody cheat off of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't care.
Right.
And I think there's no respect. Like when you don't understand or have a when you're privileged and you don't have a grasp on like, no, this is important. We need to keep this, and we need to guard this, and we need to cultivate this. Like when you don't have an understanding of that happened before you, and this is why you're even able to do this.
Yep.
Like when you don't get that understanding and you think you're just free, like freedom didn't cost anybody anything. Like freedom didn't cost your forefathers anything.
Right.
Like if you're black, freedom didn't cost your forefathers anything.
Yeah.
Right. It costs. So in order for us to live in that, we have to honor that. We have to respect that. But when we don't, we just whatever. Like, and that's why I brought up like cheating, you know, or just like, what's the answer? Give me the answer. All right, I'll give you the answer. Everybody give answers. Like, I remember we used to do that in school.
Yeah.
You know, I remember being in African American history, right?
Yeah.
Like that class we had, and nobody is all black people. Ain't nobody really care because it's just like we're here to just be in a class
be around
together.
our friends. We all know we're
Yeah.
gonna be in a class with all of our friends.
And nobody really, well, not nobody, but most of the people who were in there, they didn't want to really learn because they didn't really care.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't appreciate like or think about like I want to know about what the people who came before me went through, what they accomplished. They didn't care.
How they created this country that everyone wants to come to for a better opportunity. Yeah, Donnie said, but what if they actually vote Republican? Dude, that is totally not the point. Like, I honestly don't think voting Republican fixes anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, people think because we rag on Democrats a lot that we're about voting Republican. That is not the case at all.
No.
When you look at
There's a
this-
lot of Republican candidates
Yeah.
right now that we're
look
like,
at this Republican primary.
Yeah.
These people are all jokes.
come on, Chris Christie.
Chris
Come on, we
Christie,
know
Nikki
him.
Haley.
We know that guy.
Vivek is saying a lot of true things, but we don't trust that dude either. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we don't know.
Some of his past is real shady, and sometimes he comes off to me like too kind of polished and knowing the talking points to say. You know what I mean? Knowing the right things to say about pushing back against the establishment. You know, it's more about that to me. It's more about like there's an establishment, political establishment that has a stronghold on this country, and they profit off of war. They profit off of our fear. They profit off of the tech industry. They profit off of everything that we've given to them as conveniences in our lives, and all they want to do is keep us where we are so that they can continue to get rich and can maintain power. And they're on the Democratic side and the Republican side.
Yeah, but again, it's about freedom. Like, if we really want, freedom is not about doing whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom is being able to play. Freedom is about like creating. Like, think about your house. The best households raise up the best kids.
Yeah.
That's what a household does. That's what a family household does. A healthy household, or you could say a peaceful household. Shalom means peace, means health, right? A wholesome household. What does it do? It raises up kids. And in the raising up of those kids are able to, what's the best way of learning? Play,
Right.
right? So they're able to play and become who they were intended to become. And that doesn't happen when you got households that are barely holding on,
Yeah.
broken households. But eventually that happens over and over again. Why people don't even know what's the point of marriage?
Yeah.
Why we even get married? We're living together.
Right.
What we get married for? Like when you lose understanding of things that are intrinsic in terms of value and in terms of foundational truths.
Mm-hmm.
When you lose those things, you become ignorant.
Yeah.
And what does it say about people? My people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
So we become ignorant, and then we perish. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing this country corrode.
Right.
We're seeing a man
Um,
with a viral video in Congress.
Yeah. Like,
The house.
So, and that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why people like Donnie, because he said you could have fooled me. People like him that see us in a certain light is because we will go harder at more of the Democratic establishment because they do okay a lot more degenerative behavior that we are not okay with. They do push to try to indoctrinate our kids into lifestyles that we don't agree with. They do try to indoctrinate the public into being okay with a lot of things culturally that we don't think align with our value, that we know doesn't align with God.
They want to win just for the sake of winning.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to push back against. When we talk about the Republicans mainly, a lot of their issues are, first of all, greed, warmongering, profiting off of unrest around the globe, and things like that. These neocons that like Nikki Haley, who sits on the board of Boeing and becomes a millionaire after she was with the UN for a while. Like these are the people that are so politically corrupted in our system that we are totally against. But those things are corruption, and they do need to be addressed. But when you talk about like the dire cultural impacting things that we need to talk about and push back against, a lot of those things are coming from the Democratic side, the leftist side.
When
the
you have a
more
president that can't put together basic words, and we all turn our heads and act like we don't
pretend.
see it.
We pretend he's totally fine. He's a great president.
Yeah. And then when he is making sense, he really ain't making sense.
Right.
Because he's talking about how LGBTs, this and this. Like, he's not making sense.
Yeah.
So even though he might be making sense, he's still not making sense.
Right. Right. He's still talking about how a 9-year-old has the ability to decide what gender they are. Okay. Let's see what else. Man, I'm so upset with this stuff. So let me play this. See if I can play this. If it's gonna work. I had another video with the migrant thing. So this guy was talking about the migrants in Chicago. And he was saying that basically they have no more room for them. And he was talking about how a lot of these Democratic officials, he's a Democrat, but he's saying we have to stop pretending like there's not a crisis happening because people are dying now. People are like getting sick, getting flu, getting diseases because they're all like, jammed together in these holding facilities. And I think a little boy died.
Migrant
from the flu. Yeah. And he was saying that we have to be able to be honest about this and not worry about how it makes us look politically.
Yeah. You want to be a savior. That's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And right now, they want the image of their saviors. Like that's that it's virtue signaling, right?
Right.
But they can't handle it. They literally can't handle it. They can't handle the weight of this stuff that they said they were going to take on that they didn't think about properly.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if people keep flooding in, you're not going to be able to handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that video we played from Eric Adams the other day where he was like, well, we played that a few weeks ago where he was like, this is going to ruin New York City. We can't handle this.
Yeah. Well,
But
you
a couple
opened
weeks before that, he was saying, bring them here. Send them all. We welcome them.
Are you opening up your doors, buddy?
Yeah, but should he be in a place of authority to be stewarding over something that he obviously, because in one moment he's saying one thing, in another moment he's saying something totally opposite, But so he has to recognize it and go through it for him to realize that, oh, made a mistake.
Yep.
He's not capable of leading. He's
Right.
not capable. And we don't see this? Oh, we don't see it because he sounds good. You know, he seems like the right guy for the job.
Right.
But we don't know. Why don't we know?
And man, I don't even know how these people vote. You vote Biden and you vote, what's that dude? You know, the other guy, stroke guy,
Oh,
Fetterman.
Yeah.
How do you vote that guy in?
Just because
he can't even form.
because people blindly vote their party line. Like they're indoctrinated into a side. They've been told that my side is the right side and I'm going to root for them no matter what. And once you get people into that type of binary trap, you got them. There's nothing else you need to do. Tried to relaunch Chrome. Let's see if this works. Nope.
It's probably
Dude.
X.
I had this video of did you guys see the town hall with Vivek
I watched some of it.
where he was trying to explain how January 6th was an inside job and she kept trying to cut him off.
Yep, she wouldn't let him
She
talk.
would not let him. It was like she had someone in her ear telling them like, don't let him say it. Don't let him
Yeah.
say anything. Don't let him continue. She kept cutting him off. And he was breaking it down how like the Gretchen Whitmer case, how there was FBI plants involved and the three of these guys were basically like they were just normal guys and these people were setting them up giving them money to go buy stuff, like totally setting up the whole plot for them, but implicating them at the same time. Like it was horrible what they did to these dudes. To the point where he said one of the jurors, after they got acquitted, of course, because all the evidence came out, one of the jurors came up to them and apologized, was like, I'm so sorry you had to go through this.
Yep.
Because that's how horrible of a setup that was, how much entrapment it was by our federal Bureau of Investigation. And when you look at what happened on J6,
Yeah.
there was a lot of that going on. People being led into the building. We played the video of they had to let the QAnon shaman guy go because
Yeah.
they released the footage of
The
him
200 hours.
him being they let him in.
Even before that, though, before they even got into the building, they were the FBI guys were the ones that were getting them to go across.
Right.
They were the ones that were provoking all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And
They're
we showed the footage of them when everybody was just standing outside the Capitol doing nothing. They were tear gassing people,
Yeah.
and throwing those, what are those grenades that they throw? I don't forget what they're called,
Yeah, I
but
don't
not
know.
the ones that just make the loud bangs. So they were deliberately trying to agitate the crowd
Yeah.
when they were
bombs.
flash bombs. That's
Flash
what they
bombs.
are. Yeah.
How long did the shaman stay in jail?
He was in jail
for
for
a whole
like
year, like
Year. That's
or 2 years.
I think longer. I think longer.
Might have been 2
like
years.
2 years.
And then had to be let go because they realized that he was escorted in. Like when we showed the footage on here how they literally guided him through the building, escorted him into the chambers, and then took a bunch of pictures of him.
Yeah.
And then that's all we saw over the news was the leader of the insurrection.
Just pictures.
Yeah.
Pictures of him.
Right, but then when they showed the footage, because in the pictures it looks like he's like doing a rally, like trying to get people. He was saying a prayer, thanking
Praying
the
with the-
Capitol guards for how great they were and letting them in. Like it was just crazy how the media just got on board with this frame. We showed the video of how Nancy Pelosi's daughter was there shooting a documentary at the same time.
Yeah.
And how she was on camera talking about how, she couldn't wait for this to happen so she could, handle Donald Trump. Like it was just so clearly orchestrated. The fact that they refused the National Guard presence there. They turned down so many of the Capitol Police were like, yo, they wouldn't let us staff up.
Yeah.
They told us we couldn't staff up. And now look what's going on, Like they wanted that to happen so bad.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist.
Come on, man. It's obvious at
It's
this
so
point.
obvious,
If
isn't
you
it?
don't want to admit to that, you're brainwashed.
Said that to you. He always says it to me.
I'm joking.
But yeah, so I can't play the clip because none of things working, but he said, "Too bad for CNN. We'll take the truth on January 6th we'll take the truth on January 6th mainstream. There's a clear evidence that there was at very least entrapment of peaceful protesters, similar to the fake Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot and countless other cases. The FBI won't admit how many undercover officers were in the field on January 6th, and that was they were subpoenaed and they got questioned, and they would not admit how many were there. The FBI won't admit. The Capitol Police, on one hand, fired rubber bullets and explosives into the peaceful crowd, who they then willingly later allowed into the Capitol building. That doesn't add up, and the actual evidence turns the prior narrative upside down. If the deep state is willing to manufacture an insurrection to take down its political opponents, they can do anything. Once you see it, you can't unsee it." So the fact that he's saying things like this on mainstream news, like, even though I don't fully all the way trust Vivek, but like the fact that he's in there saying those things is still a net positive for me. And that's the difference between him, anybody else on the Republican stage, and anybody in the Democratic side of things, except for RFK, who then had to drop out and become an independent. Because I like the fact that RFK was speaking against the establishment. He was the only other voice out there with some steam that was speaking against the establishment. But you see how the mainstream media was trying to demonize him as well. You see their approach. Look at how they did it with Vivek. We showed that from the last debate, how they were trying to make it seem like he was the worst one up there. You were talking to some people at soccer last week, and people that you could tell all they do is watch the mainstream. The one dude was like, "I thought Chris Christie did a great job." What?
Did you watch it?
debate
Did you
were
watch
you
it, bro?
watching?
Did you watch it?
Vivek was horrible. Like,
Yeah, wait, what?
that's
That you just heard that?
Yes.
Like, that's what that
you're
was.
listening to the commentary after the fact, and you're just saying, "Okay, that's my opinion now
Yeah.
too." Like, you didn't watch with your eyes,
No.
at all.
Can you play Instagram reels?
Maybe you gonna send me some?
I sent you the Vivek thing, and then I
Okay.
sent you the the health administrators,
Okay.
the health leaders in all the countries. I texted to you.
Okay, this is not playing either. It's got to be something.
Something with you, then, huh?
Yeah, got to
Oh.
be something with the.
We blaming Elon. You can't reboot because
No,
we would go bye-bye.
no, we wouldn't.
No?
No,
Is this on that?
it's on that computer.
But we just wouldn't have anything.
Just wondering why. I don't know why this stuff is not playing. Because the audio won't play either. Let me see if this audio plays.
Jeff said try rebooting, man.
It's got to be Chrome. I'm going to try to relaunch Chrome.
See, that's why we need new subscribers, so that way we can fix all this.
Yeah, something going on here.
Or they hacking you.
Donnie still don't want to support us. We're too much Republican for him.
He known us longer than everybody.
I guess that's why that those videos from the nativity wouldn't play either. Something was going on here.
Donnie said he's just playing around.
I know. I'm just playing with him too. I'm just playing with you too, Donnie.
He's a little bit serious. Come on, Donnie, let's be real.
Let me see.
You're a little bit serious. He said, I would subscribe, but I'm a brainwashed dem.
Exactly. Well, now we're being honest.
Are you a brainwashed then? Yeah, so the video from before wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the internet.
No, I think it might have to do with. I think Chrome might be.
Health
There
experts.
we go. Yeah, I had to relaunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one from Belgium.
Okay.
All the health experts.
Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna play this clip from Vivek first. This is the first one I wanted to show.
Said at the debate last week, you used the phrase inside job to describe what happened on January 6th. The next day, Capitol rioter Alan Hosteler highlighted your comments at his sentencing. He is going to prison for 11 years. Hosteler threatened members of Congress. He brought a hatchet, knives, pepper spray, stun batons, tactical gear to the U.S. Capitol.
Fed.
Are you concerned that a convicted felon like that is now promoting your comments in court?
So here's my concern, Abby. And I want to tell you guys where I'm at. If you had told me, it's close to 3 years ago that January 6, 2021 happened. If you had told me 3 years ago, back when I was a biotech CEO, not steeped in this world, I was just consuming passive media, but was focused on my world of developing medicines. If you had told me that January 6 was in any way an inside job, the subject of government entrapment, I would have told you that was crazy talk. Fringe conspiracy theory nonsense. I can tell you now, having gone somewhat deep in this, it's not. I mean, the reality is this. We do have a government, first of all, we have to acknowledge, that has lied to us systematically over the last several years about the origin of COVID-19, about the Hunter Biden laptop that we were told was false by 51 CIA experts and otherwise before we now know that it was true. You can go straight down the list, the Trump-Russia disinformation collusion hoax, all of it. Now we come to January 6th.
I mean, he ain't lied yet.
He
Those are
ain't
two
lying.
major stories that we were told by, how many times did they quote? 17 of the intelligence agencies all confirmed that the Hunter Biden laptop story is Russian disinformation.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're gaslighted into believing like, no, we always knew that was true. We always knew that was true. It just
That's the
didn't
thing.
matter.
Like, dude, gaslighting is crazy on their end. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's on another level.
Yep.
They should be like the poster child for gaslighting.
Yeah. And then the Trump Russia thing. How many years was that? Adam Schiff, we saw him on TV saying that he has all the evidence and it will be out soon.
Yeah. Nope.
Pencil.
The reality is we
But the
know
show
that there were
called
federal
pencil
law enforcement agents in that field. We don't know how many. I think it's shameful. And if I may finish just answering.
Well, let me
this is
just.
really
I'm
important, Abby.
going to go ahead and interrupt you here because
I
you're
know
saying that there
establishment
were,
doesn't approve of this
you're
message.
saying
I know
that there
this,
were
but
federal
we should be
agents.
able to talk about this.
You're saying that there were federal
This
agents.
is
in the
important to
crowd.
talk about.
You are saying there were federal agents in the crowd on January 6th.
Yep.
There is no evidence that there were federal agents in the crowd on January 6th.
So why, before Congress, when pressed on what the number was, they didn't say there were none? They just couldn't say how many
you're
there were.
saying that that you have not seen any evidence.
So
that
we've
there
seen
were,
multiple.
and so you
we've seen
assume that there
multiple
were.
informants suggesting that there were. We know people were FBI informants who were asked.
Is there any evidence?
May I just finish this, and you can come back and question me?
Let me clarify.
I know it's very uncomfortable. for you.
I'm going to clarify my
I know
question.
this is an uncomfortable issue for many people, but we have to do the truth here.
I'm going to clarify my question because I want to make sure that you understand what I'm asking.
I understand this deeply. And I told you, I was with you 3 years ago. I'm not there now.
Where is the evidence?
Yes.
Where is the evidence that the government had a plot?
let's do this.
Now she's
an inside
reframing the
job?
question.
But
Now she's reframing the question that the government had an inside plot.
I'm going to tell you what inside job is because I'm not going to. I'm not
violence on January 6th.
I'm not going to let you put words in my mouth. I'm going to put my words in my mouth. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that.
Where is the evidence that the government was involved in planning or executing January 6th?
So I'm going to give you hard facts. And if I may, Abby, I know this is going to be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to go through this, and you can push back on it after that. And you can push back on that. And let's do this fairly. Why did they suppress footage
they're in her ear.
Of now what's been released? 200
for the
hours of
evidence.
footage of shooting rubber bullets into that crowd, shooting tear gas into that crowd. You didn't see that before. You saw what the response was to that. Now you see footage coming out of actually rolling out the red carpet for Capitol Police.
Remember those January 6 hearings that went on for months? They didn't show any of that footage. They suppressed all of that.
I didn't know until like a few months ago
When they released it all.
Didn't they say it was only 20 hours, but there was like 200 hours worth of footage?
Yes.
So 180 hours that weren't released.
Right. Why?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're trying to frame it a certain way.
Exactly.
allowing people
Ramaswamy,
in
again,
right through the front
the
door.
vast majority of the
that video
footage
evidence should have been released
shows,
before, Abby.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
That
the
evidence
vast
should have been
majority
released
of the
before.
footage shows
And my deeper
police
question
officers
is this.
being overrun
and I want to talk about one more
by
case.
violent
This is really important.
riders. That's
Yo, she is being told.
Talk.
Yeah,
Keep talking.
Keep talking.
Keep
Just
talking.
keep
Why were
over-talking.
police overrun? Just like what you reminded us of Nancy Pelosi saying we don't need,
Yes.
denying National Guard to be there
Right.
for help.
There was barely any Capitol Police there.
Yeah.
On duty.
I'm going to
The
give you
vast
I'm going to give you some
majority
hard
of
facts.
it shows.
So here's what entrapment
can't
is.
cherry
Here's-
pick.
I'm not cherry picking.
You
If I
cannot-
may finish,
you
Abby.
cannot
If I may
cherry
finish,
pick
Abby. I'm not cherry picking.
examples.
To the
and-
contrary.
This is supposed to be a town hall, by the way. It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be
You're
them
supposed to
two
let him talk.
arguing.
Yeah, it's not a
You
debate.
ask him a question, you're supposed to let him talk and let him. It's like, but because it's on CNN, they can't let him say these things.
She
They
got her
can't.
hair down,
Yep.
so that
Oh, they
we
always
don't
do. Yep,
we
the
don't hear
earpiece
the
is in
little
there.
see the little earpiece.
Yep.
They're like, yo, don't let him talk.
Yeah.
Don't let him talk. Don't let him say it.
To the contrary,
cannot
you know who
cherry pick
cherry-picked?
examples
You know who cherry-picked
and
the
say that
government
that
did?
is what happened
The
on
government
January
cherry-picked
6th.
12 hours of footage when there was 200 hours of footage. So cherry-picking was the government.
12 hours.
12 hours.
When there was 200 hours.
Less than what I said.
Yeah. They took 12 hours of footage when there was 200 hours.
Not me. Release the whole thing. And let me just finish one thing, too, because this is super important as a topic.
So
I think this is a civil libertarian issue of our time.
When we were
Gretchen Whitmer's
talking-
kidnapping. I want to be really clear on this, because it's the same issue in the same FBI, same even part of the FBI. 3 people who were in an alleged plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer were acquitted at the end of trial because it was entrapment. That is, government agents put them up to do something they otherwise wouldn't have done. They gave them credit cards with spending limits of up to $5,000, encouraged them to buy munitions, plan something they weren't otherwise willing to plan. So much so, and I want people at home to know this, especially CNN viewers to know this, is that one of the jurors went to those defendants and apologized afterwards, gave him a hug, apologized, seeing what the government had put a poor guy up to who had to go to some Mexican restaurant across the street to get hot water. These people were exploited with credit cards up to $5,000, FBI agents putting them up to a kidnapping plot that we were told was true but was entrapment. Same thing with the
14
Capitol Police, people
Mr.
letting them in
Ramaswamy,
freely.
That's what, like, when you see those videos of Ray Epps going around, like, we gotta go. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. I could go to jail for this. We gotta go into the Capitol, and like he's looking for that one gullible person that's gonna be like, yeah, we gotta do that, and then they just snatch that person up and they start feeding them the nonsense. You know what I mean? Like you can see the tactics that they use to create a narrative anytime they need to.
But that dude didn't get locked up,
No,
for 3 years. He's really inciting.
yeah,
It's clear evidence. You have a lot of video footage of that guy.
clearly telling people.
Many of those people then being
Mr. Ramaswamy,
charged.
look,
The government cannot put you up to do
don't-
something and then
Mr.
charge you for
Ramaswamy,
it.
look,
That's wrong.
I don't want to have
Wrong
to.
to the left,
I
or the
don't.
right.
I don't
Yo,
want to have
she
to.
is
I don't
trying
wanna have
so
to
hard.
interrupt you. I really don't. But I don't want you to mislead the audience here or
I'm
at
not.
home.
Abby, I think they've been misled by the mainstream media.
14
They're laughing at her.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's how bad it is.
That's how
They don't
bad
even
it is
realize,
now.
like, yo, the audience you got in there is like, you crazy?
But this is the thing: the people that the producers, the heads of CNN that are beholden to their sponsors, beholden to the people that buy advertising, they're the ones that are like, if you don't push back against this, we're gonna be pissed. So they have, even though they know no one believes it, they still have to do it to please those people.
Yeah, because, Dana White,
Yeah.
you heard about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the other guy, can't think of his name. Dana White went on the guy I actually gave you a clip of where he was talking. He's a comedian. I can't remember his name. Anyway, Dana White, everybody know who Dana White is, right?
Yeah. Runs the UFC.
UFC.
Built one of the best sports brands in America.
He didn't say who, but he had something on his personal page about Trump and how he supports Trump. And then one of the sponsors
threatened
said,
to pull out.
yeah. and said, "You better take that off."
Right.
And he like basically was like, "F
Go
you,
F
I'm not-"
yourself. Elon
Yeah.
Musk did it as well
Right.
with all the people that threatened to pull out of Twitter.
Right.
You know.
And then he was on this guy's podcast, and he was saying, he said something. I think he like shared the Kennedy,
RFK?
yeah, his post,
Mhm.
something about him, and Peloton was
Right,
sponsoring
right. It was
him.
Peloton. Peloton was the same one from Dana White was talking about. It was Peloton.
Was it Peloton?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I
Peloton.
think so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it
It's
was
somebody else.
No, it was Peloton.
You sure? 'Cause
Yeah.
he didn't name who it was.
But it was Peloton.
I think it was.
It
Peloton,
was.
too. The dude went. It was his personal. He said something about Trump.
No, but it wasn't Peloton. He didn't name who it was.
No, the person that was threatening to pull out of Dana White was Peloton. I remember the story.
All right. Well, I didn't see that he named who it was.
Yeah.
But this was Peloton because he did when he said who was it.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, we got Peloton bikes in here.
Mhm.
Get them out of here!" Like,
Right.
So obviously he didn't know. Like, why would he say that then? That's why I'm like kind of confused about if it was Peloton. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, Peloton is an exercise bike company. It's so funny. I was just in Best Buy. My wife was like, "Oh, I want that." I'm like, "It's $2,000. It's not worth it."
So you're saying Dana White threw out the Pelotons?
Bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it was because they.
No, because he was talking to him.
Oh.
And because it was Peloton threatened him to take that down.
Oh.
Not
okay.
Dana White. Dana White, his was something else.
Oh.
Somebody else.
Okay, I was confused then because it still was involving Dana White.
Yeah, he was talking to him about it, and he was like, "Oh, F them," and he was like, "Do we got any Peloton bikes here?" This is during the podcast.
Yeah. Wow.
So he didn't even bring up who he was talking to.
Okay.
Maybe he's
I got
keeping it in the pocket for later or whatever. But
you. Okay.
so Peloton took a hit.
Yeah, I'm sure their stock went down. All right, let's play this thing with the health ministers that Moan sent.
That they're calling health experts. Look at this one from England. Look at this one from Belgium. Health experts, apparently. Incredible. This is the people that they're calling health experts. Look at this one from England.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen this before.
Canada.
Trust the experts. They look very healthy to me.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to trust them with my health.
Definitely people you want to get advice from. It's like you ever see someone who's like extremely overweight telling someone how to like what they need to do to get in shape.
Yeah.
That's what
You
I
see
know.
someone-
Gym I go to, this guy is teaching. He's like a fitness instructor. And he's big, fat.
Yeah.
Not anything wrong with people being fat, but he's a fitness instructor.
I mean, it's just you gotta. It's sometimes it's like you gotta look at who you're getting advice from. Like I'm saying, I'm fitness instructor is different. I'm saying like if there's somebody that's just like really overweight and they're like, see, what you gotta do is, you gotta, you gotta go vegan.
Yeah.
Then you're like,
Ours is worse because you tap into the mental health
yeah,
aspect of things.
right, yep,
Not only is he or
Yeah.
she is
Like healthy physically, healthy
physically.
mentally.
yeah, but advocating for, trans rights at
Yeah.
the same time.
To little kids.
Speaking of mentally healthy, I thought this was a funny one right here.
Salam, everyone.
What the?
I just gotta ask, who's cosplaying? See, cosplaying is when you dress up as something that you aren't or someone you aren't. I am a Muslim woman. I wear what a Muslim woman wears. I dress like that. So, who's cosplaying here? One, I am Muslim. Two, not a fake woman. I'm a real woman, just as any other woman out there. I mean, we should have access to healthcare. We should have, access to our surgeries, therapists, hormones, other, gender affirming care for everybody, no matter the age. Let me ask you this. How do we classify sports? We classify them between men and women, not male and female.
Great. Oh, you just
That's
schooled them on that one.
Such
Listen,
a great point.
when your pilgrimage to Mecca comes, see how that works out. Bro, come on, man.
He won't.
Look, you even.
He won't be
You're
able
entertaining
to
it.
because you can't go as a woman, right? You gotta be escorted by a man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think there's a man that's gonna want to escort this beautiful Muslim woman to Mecca?
There's too much.
Bold
going
and
on.
beautiful woman, Muslim
there's,
woman.
There's so many failings and so many it's all right. Yeah.
Oh,
Next.
Man. So I wanted to show y'all something along the lines of the hip hop culture of things. I don't know if you guys have seen this, the Young Thug trial that's been going on. He's got like a RICO charge. He's been on trial for a while. They were talking about it
a little bit.
They were talking about it on the Breakfast Club, and they were explaining how his lawyers are really earning their pay.
Oh, I know what you're.
You know what I'm going to get at?
Yes, I have seen this. Yeah.
Okay. So his lawyers. Hold on, Mom. Don't pull it up yet. Hold on. Let me see. Because I gotta find this clip.
Who's Young Thug?
At the Planet Fitness that I go to, this man is a woman. He dresses like a woman, but he's a man. Remember the guy was coming to us? So he comes out of the women's bathroom and he says to me, I'm not lying, I can't believe there was a man in there. I just looked at him like, you're a man.
Maybe he saw himself in the mirror.
He wears women gym outfit.
He walked past the mirror and was like, "Hey,
Does he
get
wear
out of here! You don't belong in here."
Does he wear yoga pants and you see everything?
Well, you can't see nothing because they're hiding. You know what I mean?
All right, let's play this clip. This is Young Thug's lawyer making his case to the jury of why the term thug is not what you think it means.
This is hilarious.
Truly humble under God. It was his pact that if he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and his many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be
truly humble under God. Thug.
Truly humble under God. Okay, all right.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. And the thing was, like,
I'm buying it.
The thing that bothered me on the Breakfast Club is, like, none of them called this out. Like, none of them would even say, like, we got to stop this, y'all. Like,
That's not what they do, though.
you gotta. I didn't bring the clip up, but you gotta watch it. Like, they were actually, like, applauding this tactic.
I mean, yeah, people applaud things when it's depravity. Like, well, because it's about winning, right?
Right.
It's not about like
the truth.
The
It's
truth.
not about better. It's not about what's best for society.
Yeah.
You know, we saw the clip of Walter White talking about. I mean, Charleston White, Walter White, Charleston White talking about how Thug
Breaking
put in the
Bad.
song how he was going to shoot somebody's mom, and then he actually shot the dude's mom.
Mm-hmm.
So that we'll just turn a blind eye to that.
Mm-hmm.
But when his lawyer says that, and then here's another clip from the case. This is a different lawyer trying to. This is a why he's trying to explain why they shouldn't take the lyrics out of context. Here we go.
Hey, how you doing? I'm that guy. I got bodies on bodies. Okay. He's rapping about sleeping with a bunch of women at the same time.
He's smiling and drinking water because
Yeah.
he knows, like, how's he going to fool this off?
Right. Let's watch it again.
Hey, how you doing? I'm that guy. I got bodies on bodies. Okay. He's rapping about sleeping with a bunch of women at the same time. Or maybe not. Maybe that's not it. Maybe he's rapping about when he was a high school football star over at Drake, and he was laying people out on the field. Bodies on bodies. Fight the police, Fuck 'em in a high speed. It is a call out, Your Honor, to NWA with their famous song, Fuck the Police. It is social comedy here. I rep my life for real, for slimes, you know I kill. Take it to trial. I kill. Now I know I have said I killed it. I pray that when I walked out of here today and someone says, Doug, how'd you do today? I'm like, I killed it. I kill refers to doing a great job when you're rapping in the studio. I kill refers to making money for the label. Running from 12, then I jumped through the fences. Is it running around his neighborhood at the age of 12? He had a friend named 12 when he was younger. Is it running with his friend named 12?
Bro,
Come
this is
on,
why
that
people
thing-
hate lawyers. This is why people hate lawyers, because for you to try to spin all that in that way, and you think a jury? Do you think the jury was buying this stuff?
Maybe.
I don't know. People.
Who knows nowadays?
Like, beyond the fact, like, we know a lot of these rappers say stuff that they don't really do in songs. Like, that's, I mean, he could have just went with that avenue, but to try to spin every lyric like, no, this is actually a positive thing.
Yeah. I kill means
I killed it.
yeah. I go to church every day, every Sunday.
Right. And I kill demons.
I
kill these
annihilate
scriptures.
demons.
Yeah. Bodies on bodies. That's about the body of Christ. And
How I die
how I die to
every
myself.
day. I die daily.
As I take Holy Communion, it's the bodies of Christ on bodies. Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Come on. We gotta
It's
stop
silly.
this.
It really is silly. And you can feel the phony, right?
Yep.
I feel like it's like he's trying to hold back himself from laughing.
Yep.
Courtney said, I can't stop laughing.
All right, Jake, you sent me some videos. Here is, what is this? Oh, I remember this one. Yeah.
Well,
Is it gonna be 2 hours? Because it's
yeah.
What?
What are you playing?
The Instagram clips.
10 o'clock.
Because it's already 10.
All right, so you want to go to the other stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be here all night.
I gotta.
All right, well, I'll set it up. This is interview with George Janko and Andrew Tate. So Andrew Tate is talking about some interesting things. Andrew Tate is probably one of the most liked / hated people.
Polarizing.
Yeah,
He was the most
in the
Googled.
world. He's the most Googled person in the world.
A lot of people are obsessed with the idea.
Oh, sorry.
So I think it's good to, and he's I think for the last year he's become a Muslim.
And who's George Janko?
George Janko used to be on
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul's podcast.
Mhm.
He just got his own,
That was one of his best friends.
one of his best
But
friends.
he kind of came to fame because he became a Christian and he would talk about Jesus on the podcast a lot. And then there was these viral clips of him getting into it. There's one with him specifically with who's the comedian, the Asian comedian, the Asian
Korean
comedian.
dude?
I don't know.
Yeah, from Mad TV.
Dang, what's his name?
Why can't I think of
I
his
don't
name?
know.
Tiger Belly is his
Tiger
podcast.
Belly?
Man.
Bobby Lee.
Bobby
Bobby
Lee.
Lee.
Yes, Bobby Lee. Sorry, Bobby Lee. I could not think of that name. But there is a viral clip of him being vulgar with Bobby Lee, and then he walks off the podcast. That went viral.
Bobby Lee being vulgar with him.
Right. I'm sorry.
Like
Bobby
basically
Lee,
pulls his pants down in front of him.
Yeah, being totally disrespectful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and tells him to smell his penis, basically.
right.
Like, this is-
Yeah, but his type of comedy is that type of comedy, you know. But everybody's not cool with that.
Yeah. Yes.
So he walked off the show. He goes viral. He ends up leaving that podcast so he can do his own thing. Now he's got his own little following, and he interviewed Andrew Tate. He actually is
And he's a
pretty
believer.
Good. He's a pretty good interviewer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's some stuff.
A lot of people are obsessed with the idea of happiness. And especially as a man, I think that happiness can actually be a very destructive motivator. And when men sit and say, I want to be happy, I want to feel happy. To feel happy, a lot of the time, you're looking for temporary hedonism. To be happy, you want to get drunk or take drugs or do something stupid temporarily, and it's very short-lived. I think you should instead be looking as a man to say, I want to feel proud. If you choose pride over happiness, you're going to make decisions that you're proud of and that people around you are proud of, and it's going to be better for yourself and better for society and better for everyone who loves you, everyone you care about.
I think that's the first thing you said that I disagree with.
You disagree? I think the best thing a man can do is wake up and say, what can I do that's going to make me proud of myself and other people are proud of me?
Let's get into our debate.
Let's do it.
Okay. I believe that pride will always be the downfall of you. In fact, God calls it an abomination. If you stand before God and you search for anything in your heart and you take pride in it, you're saying that you did it, not God. That is my argument against that one. Two, happiness could be today. It's all perspective. Yep. If you look at a tree, you could look at it and be like, oh, me and my dad used to pick apples from that tree, or his father hung himself in that tree. Yep. It's the perspective. So anything could be changed in a perspective. So if you ask from God's perspective, and God used to walk into the room and say, shalom, peace be upon you. Yep. So I believe you could enter peace. I believe that you could only find peace when you welcome God into your life. Now, it might sound like a crazy nutcase that's a religious man, but I truly believe in all of my heart that money will never give you peace.
Yep.
I believe love will give you peace. Love comes from God and the people that are around you. Your mother gives you peace. Your father gives you peace. You can't buy that. And if you ask God for 5 things, only 5 things, Andrew, your Bugatti wouldn't be there.
Absolutely.
But your brother would.
Of course.
So you come into the world with peace and love. So
but you don't think pride is one of the biggest motivators of masculine excellence? You don't think
because once you achieve it, you want more, and that's where it gets
Of course,
dangerous.
but you do not think Mayweather decided he wanted to be proud of himself by beating
Why
everyone?
would you want
don't
to
think
be Mayweather? So you can have money and then just pick on YouTubers and box them?
Of course. I'm not insulting Mayweather, good or bad. But
actually, I might cut that because it might jump me. So
Michelangelo.
Okay. He cut his ear off.
Okay. Artists.
That's Picasso.
Vinci. What I'm saying is some of the most beautiful works of art, some of the most gorgeous cathedrals, some of the most beautiful churches you'll ever lay your eyes on were done because a man felt proud of his work. Feeling pride in yourself.
But what happened to that man?
Being proud. Of course, but being pride.
So you're looking at the art and you're trying. That's pride. You want everybody to take pride into you. But guess what, Andrew? Right now, if you died, regardless of all the work you've done, regardless of all of everything that you put in, I'm a better man. Reed's a better man. David's a better man. I forgot your name. I'm so sorry.
Bailey.
Bailey's a better man. All these guys are a better man for 2-3 generations. But when you die, you have the same grave of a man that you hate because time moves on.
Of course.
Everything collects moth and rust.
Yep.
So what's the point?
You don't think God can give you pride in yourself for doing the right things?
I think that you could find joy in it. But again, everything has its time. So you take pride in your art, but at one point, all those artists became crazy, bro. So what's the fucking worth of it?
Okay, I understand that. So we can look at it a bunch of different ways, but you just talked about a man looking in the mirror and being proud of his body to motivate himself. That's pride?
Absolutely. Pride to an extent, right? Pride to an extent. But if it's your motivator, that's the problem. Everybody needs a certain type of emotion. You need fear, but you're not going to live fear throughout your whole life.
We have our default emotions that we seek, and this is the point I'm making, because when I talk to people, I think we all have our default emotions we seek, and depressed people, their default emotion that they're looking for is sympathy. They want sympathy, either from themselves or from somebody else, and they always have a sob story. It's always about how hard their life was, and they did drugs, and blah, 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 and they want everyone to feel sorry for them. They're searching for sympathy. If you're the kind of person who searches for happiness, whether male or female, in my experience, people who search for happiness end up doing hedonistic, temporary, stupid things. When I find men who search to feel proud of themselves, I want people to be proud of me, and I want to be proud of myself, and I want to be respected. They often delay happiness. They often go through very difficult things and build things which are beautiful or build things which are difficult to do. They often go to the other side of fear to feel that pride. I did it. I faced my fear. I did it.
Yeah.
So I think as a man searching for pride or searching to feel proud is a pretty positive mindset for masculine achievement. I understand what you're saying from the biblical sense. I actually understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I just say if you were to take a man and say, how would you make your parents, your girlfriend, and yourself proud of you?
I agree. I just don't want it to be the driving vehicle. That's the only thing I care about. I just don't want it to be the driving vehicle, right?
And then I have to sit here and analyze myself. Is pride the driving vehicle for me? Like, why do I even
100%
why do I even do what I do? Like, do I feel proud of myself when I awaken people to how the matrix works? Well, yes. But is that because I believe I'm helping them, or do I just feel happy in and of myself? Why do I own all the things I own? Why do I want all the things I want? And it's very interesting. You asked a question earlier before we got down this point when you said, has money made me happier or made me more anxious? And the answer to that is both. I think that you're certainly anxious when you have an empire because you understand how difficult it is to maintain, especially in my position, right? I've been hit by DCAUT and FBI and all these huge federal agencies are trying to take everything I've ever worked for.
And from your loved ones that you're leaving
from my
for.
loved ones, all the money I've ever made. It's actually a very difficult, precarious situation to be in. And even if you ever get to the position where you pay yourself $500,000 every single morning, you get concerned with, am I still going to be able to do this? Then the money ain't making you happy. You're working so hard to make sure you'll always be able to pay yourself that money that you don't even spend, that you don't even need.
That's the pride thing I was trying to tell you about.
Of course.
So
but this is how you hold on to things.
And it's a stomach that keeps needing.
It does keep needing. You're completely right. But that's also how there's no light without dark. The stomach keeps needing. Completely agree with you. But that's also how I managed to propel myself from here to here. And I'm going to go want to beat this garbage even higher. So I agree with you. It's my gas. Yeah. My gas is. And then, so there's anxiety attached.
Did that change when you got a daughter?
I think in some ways it got worse because there's anxiety attached to my money. But the true happiness that I get from my money is the fact that I can give people I care about anything I want.
You can set them free.
I can set them free.
So check this out.
Oh, you hear what he said?
Yeah.
So that's where the true happiness, or I would say maybe joy, right, that he gets from his money, is that he can set people free.
Yeah. I think that. I mean, I feel like that's a motivator for a lot of people. You know, you set yourself free, but then you want to be able to set others free too.
Yeah, like how many times you hear people do all these, you know, the commercials on YouTube or whatever, like. Yeah. Don't you want to you want to be financially free? You want to be able to do whatever you want. You want to be able to
financial freedom. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to be able to go to islands or spend some more time with your family. You want to be free. Like, so I think when we're looking at it in that way, then things shift, right? But it's funny because you put yourself in the place of God, because who sets us free?
Right.
It's the Son.
He's the only one that can set us free.
Yeah.
When you're trying to set yourself free, you're working out of pride.
Yeah.
All right.
We're in the land of the free. You don't agree with this?
Of course not.
But let's debate about this. Yeah. Is it free, so free, that it's giving the will to anybody to do what they want, and this is what the mass wants to do with it?
First things first. No country on earth is free. Not one. Next, which country has
now
the most
people
people
about
in
what's
prison?
Free. Right? We went to setting free. Right. Now we're talking about what's free.
What's actual freedom?
Currently.
America.
Which country has the highest percentage of its population in prison in history?
America.
Which country has the most laws?
I don't know that one.
America. So when you talk about the land of the free, what they're actually saying is, we've built a society based on freedom. Of course there is no freedom, because true freedom is anarchy. So I'm not even advocating for it.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you think it turned that way because of that?
No. But here's the psyop. Yeah. Every single country has its own version of their restrictions and rules. When I go to the UAE, I feel very free because I can say anything I want. I don't want to say the things that would land me in jail. If I insulted Islam or insulted the leaders of Dubai in Dubai, I'd go to jail. Yeah. But I don't want to. It doesn't cross my mind. So I speak and feel free. In America, if you go to America and you talk pro-LGBT, pro-agenda, pro-democrat, pro all these things, you think you're in a free country because you're saying all the things you're allowed to say. If you start saying the things you're not allowed to say, you'll learn that it's no more free than Saudi. It's just, there's a different set of rules of what you're allowed to say. So what we have, please let me make this point pertinently clear. Your ability to speak freely is directly correlated to your insignificance. When nobody listens to you, you can say what you want. If you get a platform and start talking, you will learn very quickly how you're not allowed to say what you want because people are listening. You're free to talk in an empty room. You're not free to talk to millions of people who are paying attention to you. So what we have now in the West is a society which is only linked and only bound by this false idea of freedom. Because we don't no longer believe in a flag. You look at Russia. All Russians respect Russia. They all respect the Russian flag. They respect the Russian identity. You can be Christian, you can be Muslim, but we are Russians. And when they're attacked externally, they unify as a Russian people. America doesn't have that. Half America hates the flag. They've turned the colors against each other. They've turned the religions against each other. They've turned the political parties against each other. Nothing unifies.
When a house is divided, it falls.
Yeah, house is divided, it falls. Nothing unifies America besides the illusion of freedom. So, when you have the most controlled nation on earth with the most laws and the most people in jail, and the only thing that's preventing absolute anarchy and unifying the people is the illusion of freedom, how do you do that? What you do is you make sure that nobody's free to do anything important, like speak about important issues, but you allow people to be free to do dumb shit. So you allow them to be as free as they want, to chop their dick off, change their name, change their pronouns, and be clowns. So then you could say, well, we're a free nation. Look how stupid this idiot gets to act. And you sit and say, well, I don't want to do that. I want to talk about the educational system, and I have a large podcast and everyone's listening to me. Delete him. Ban him. Whoa. First Amendment. No, ban him. Oh, he's still talking. Oh, there's demonstrations. Jail. Oh, I thought we were in a free country. Oh, you are free. You can chop your dick off. But I don't want to do that. So the whole thing is a scam. And only the Western countries even promote this idea of freedom. And it's a scam freedom, as I've just described. Whereas other nations don't do that. Saudi Arabia will not say, we are a free country. They will say, we are God-fearing. We're an Islamic country. We don't care about freedom. We care about worshiping God and living true to God. Now, I actually, as a person, like the rules I understand. Even if I were to play a game I don't particularly like, right? Even if I was in a situation, even if I don't like the rules of life. Let's say you made me move to some random country, Kuala Lumpur. I don't know the rules of Kuala Lumpur, but I have to move there.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, but I have to move there, and you give me the set of rules, and I read them. I'll respect that. What I don't respect is going to a country and reading the rules. First Amendment, freedom. I'm like, oh, cool. And they get you.
It's a mirage.
It's a mirage. So at least in other nations, you know the rules. You wouldn't go to Moscow walking around with a fuck Putin t-shirt.
No.
What? See, you know the rules.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest illusion that's going on. So when you're talking about we have so much freedom, absolutely and utterly not, sir. I'll disagree with you on that point. There's no freedom at all. In fact, there's less freedom than there is in other places, and you don't even know what you're free to do anymore. Depending, you can riot if you're BLM, but if you're the Republicans and you riot, ooh, jail. Well, I thought we could peacefully demonstrate. I thought we could demonstrate. I thought we could protest. It's a democratic country, right? No, you can't protest anymore. There's protests in France. They're all getting locked up. So it's all a mirage. It's all garbage. What is now unifying the West? Because we don't even have God anymore. And this is one of the things that's interesting when we talk about Christian versus Islam.
Ironic how everything started coming about when we did take God out of it.
Completely. But now we have Christian nations. And they don't feel Christian to me. They don't look Christian. I mean, I could walk around with a "fuck Jesus" t-shirt in a Christian nation. I wouldn't do the same thing with an Islamic nation with the Islamic prophet.
You know, I respect.
I wouldn't do it with an Islamic prophet in a Christian nation. You're still toast.
Yeah, so they won't put up with it.
I don't think it's a Christian nation though. Like, there could be things that, like the Constitution, it's almost all comes from
Christian values.
Values and like understanding, biblical understanding.
Yeah.
But like, you can't say it's Christian nation because that would make it that the religion is Christianity.
Right.
But Islam, that's what it is. Like,
Right.
Saudi Arabia is Islamic.
Right.
Right? It's an Islamic nation. So I think he's getting that wrong. I don't think he really gets that.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about.
There's religious
And that's why there's
freedom.
an issue.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's religious freedom here.
Yeah. So I think like if freedom costs something and you have to uphold it, like we were saying earlier. And so there's no, it's not that there's an illusion of freedom, but I get what he's saying. Like, there is an illusion. There's a false freedom that they would rather have you to care about. You want to be free to do things that are debaucherous, right? Like, you want to be free because you're not free to go into the House of Representatives, right, and take pictures, or the Congress, right? You're not allowed to go there and take pictures, but you can take a porn video in there, right? You're free to do that,
Right.
See what I mean? Like, so you see the imbalance, and you see, but they're not upholding the laws. That's different. Like, there's no, they're being very partial.
Yeah. I
So
mean, gay porn, not straight porn.
Right.
Gay porn.
But it's still porn.
Specify that.
Yes, but it's still porn.
Yeah. Jeff said it was Van Gogh that cut his ear off. You are correct, sir. Van Gogh. I said Picasso. It was Van Gogh. You're right.
So I think like we got to understand that we have this false sense of freedom where we think we can do anything we want, but you can't. There's consequences, right? There's gonna be consequences. There's cause, there's effect, right? You know what's funny? I was looking up excuses, like the etymology of excuses, and it's like X and cause, X cause, like, you know what I mean? So like, you're taking yourself out of the cause. Well, you can't. How can you? That's what an excuse is.
Right.
But the only way you can do that is if somebody pays the cause for you.
Right.
Right? Because the cause always has an effect, right? So the only way you can do that is if you didn't really do what you didn't cause that they tried to say you caused, or that somebody's accusing you of causing, right? Or you caused it, but somebody pays it for you, because it doesn't matter if you have an actual excuse,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh well, I didn't mean to do it, but it happened, and like it still happened, and there's still consequences to it. Like a law, it doesn't matter in those terms unless somebody shows you that you're being impartial into how you're judging that person and what they cause, and then somebody else, right? Then there's a problem. Like, here's a story. Jesus, they bring before Jesus the woman who's committed adultery, right? But who did they not bring there? The man.
Right.
So how are you gonna judge her when you didn't bring him? Already you're out of order, right? So right there, it's like, you're impartial, or you're partial. Sorry, you're partial to the man, obviously, right? And you're not paying it. So now you're gonna put all your anger out on this woman.
You excuse the man and you accuse the woman.
Right. So now she's paying for everything. And what did Jesus do? He excused her, right? Because they were being partial, right? So he's showing us justice, right? And when there's right justice, and that's the same verse where, I mean, that's the same chapter where he speaks about who the Son says free is free indeed. And if you're my disciple, right, and you abide in my word, you're my disciple, you'll know the truth will set you free. He's talking about freedom in that same chapter.
Right.
You know, so he's speaking about justice, because truly to come into justice, and to me, that's what Tate is doing, but he doesn't understand the fullness of justice, because you can't. How can you understand it without God? Right? Without the one true God, not Allah, but Yahweh, right? Jesus. How can you understand justice without him? So I think this is his issue, and then you see that he falls back again on pride, right? And then he becomes his own God, and he reflects himself on people. He reflects himself on things. He reflects himself. What he sees in himself, he sees in why he even wants that religion.
Right.
So he attracts who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing from this.
He wants to be that savior.
Yeah.
And admits it. He admits it.
They won't put up with it. So that's the thing that's so interesting when you start to analyze people who are atheistic and go, God's stupid. You don't need God. They're not even smart enough to look at the big picture and realize without God, there's nothing.
Yeah.
You have nothing but anarchy and chaos. And I tell you, when 10 armed men turn up at your house and start raping your wife and putting a gun to your head, you'll wish God was there. You'll be praying then, Mr. Atheist, Mr. fucking tough guy. Then you'll start talking about God. And it could have been prevented in the first place if society was preserved, if there weren't dickhead atheists like you talking godlessly. That's what these clowns don't even understand. Without God, there's nothing. It's all a joke.
See how hard he goes? Like, and I think he does because it's easy for him to put people in that category, like clown. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't see the whole thing, right?
Why did Genghis Khan wake up and think,
Listen to
you know
this.
what?
This is crazy.
What can I do for fun? Well, I can play this instrument. That shit. Play the instrument for me. Diddly-diddly. Boring. Okay, let me fuck this girl. Fucked her. Let me fuck her. Oh, kid number 84. Boring. What's there to do? You know what, guys? Let's all get our horses and let's just ride over there, and whatever we find, let's just take it. Why? Because it's the instinct to conquer. It's inside of a man. It's been dumbed down by the Matrix. They try and numb you. They numb you with entertainment. They try and put you in the festival crowd. They numb you with shit food. They numb you with depression, all this other garbage. But truthfully, if you're a man, you look in the mirror, what will make me happy? My empire will make me happy. That's why Alexander the Great did what he did, and Julius Caesar did what he did, and Genghis Khan did what he did. They didn't have Google Maps. They didn't know where they were going. They just said, no, we've decided we're going to go take shit from other people and show we're the best. And that's what we're doing now, the successful men at least, in a financial sense. Why am I making money? I have nothing to buy. There's nothing to buy. I have it all. I have 4 Kernan's eggs, a Rimac, a Bugatti, 53 other cars, 40 properties. There's nothing to buy. I'm just taking it from other people. I'm winning the game. I'm conquering. And that's what I think truly is going to give you purpose in life. It's just conquest. Men have always been this way. That's why war was even happening in the first place. The Mongols raided Vienna. How long does it take to ride from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, on a horse to Vienna, Austria, across all of Siberia? And they were still mad enough and bored enough to go, we need that city over there. That's the masculine essence, and it's been numbed down inside of people. Do you think they were ever considering fun at any point during this conquest? Because I don't think they were.
Well, do you think they were just trying to dominate others?
I don't think it's about trying to dominate. I think that inside of every single man, there's a God-given. I think that the entire world was built by this God-given drive to conquer. And to conquer doesn't always mean dominate others. You can conquer the sky by building a skyscraper. You can conquer by building roads. You can conquer by construction, not only by destruction. You conquer by turning up to a new territory and having a beautiful family and creating children. I think that's inside of every single man. I think it's been dumbed down by the Matrix, but I'm uninterested in fun. I don't understand the concept of fun. Fun is for women and children. All the women around me have fun. So you...
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So I think like conquering, we do have a nature of conquering, right? But it can be twisted. Like if you look at Revelations 2, 3, right? Jesus is going through speaking to the 7 churches in Revelations 2 and 3. And what does he say at the end? To those who conquer or to those who overcome, right? To those who conquer. And they conquered by the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony.
Yeah.
But the problem is we're not warring against flesh and blood, right?
Mhm.
We're warring against powers and principalities. What are we conquering?
Right.
We're not and it's really not us who conquers, but Christ who conquers in us, right? So we're learning how to walk with him. And again, so what are we doing? Because I spoke about like he's looking at himself, right? And he's mirroring himself. Well, this is what I like to do. Why am I doing these things? I don't want to have fun. I want to conquer.
Yeah.
That's fun for me, right? That's not fun. Is for kids. Fun is for you can, and it's the same thing. I'm gonna set you free so you can have fun. That's what he was saying because he's speaking about his daughter, right? I'm gonna set you free so you can play, right? So you can have fun. I don't want to play. I want to get things done, which is important. We should be getting things done.
Yeah.
But if it stops with you, you're your own God.
Yeah.
You know, you're your own God. You're your own mirror. But we have a mirror. We have Jesus is our mirror. The word is our mirror. Isn't it interesting that it says the Lord is the Spirit, and when the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom, right? And then it speaks about how we look into the mirror that is His glory.
Yeah.
Right? So we're looking at his glory of his resurrection in the hope of what we're coming into. Right? And also, James talks about it too, that there's a mirror that you look at. But to be a doer, you can't just look in the mirror. What are we looking at? It says you're looking into the law of liberty.
Right.
Again, freedom, because liberty is a law. Right? Why is it a law? Because you have to uphold it.
Yeah.
You have to stay within the bounds, right?
Right.
Of freedom. If you come, how do you step outside of freedom? You step outside of the house. You step out. Freedom is a place, right? That's what's amazing about this country. Everybody connects it to freedom, right? But again, if we're letting anybody in, how free is it?
Right.
If anybody can do whatever they want, how free is it?
Right.
But it's not about the laws. It's about us as people holding each other accountable, right? Then you start to see how freedom flows because it flows from house to house.
Right.
It's an idea that you have to uphold, that you have to keep, right? And that's my point. So it says like, who looks into the law of liberty and perseveres. And that word for persevere means to stay close. So we're staying close like a brother, right? You know how they say you can have many companions, right, that can bring you to ruin, but there's one who stays closer than, but there's one friend who stays closer than a brother, right? So true friendship with God is always being close to him, so you're always mirroring him. And when you're weak, you're there. You're going back to him. You're looking at him. And then you're learning how to act as he acts. You're learning how to mirror him, right? That's true play. That's true fun. See what I'm...
Yeah.
As children, we play, we mirror our parents, right? Well, who's our parent? Jesus. Well, but I thought he was the son. Well, if you see me, you've seen the Father. If you see Jesus, you see the Father. So we're learning how to look at Jesus so we can see the Father. You know what's interesting? If you never know how you are as a father until you have your kids. The father aspect of you is never really revealed until you have kids, right? The moment you're not a father until that child opens up that womb.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Then you become a father.
Right.
So it's literally the child reveals the father. That's the connect. The child reveals the father.
Yeah.
So it takes us to humble ourselves, right? In that way. Who's the first son? Jesus is the first son. He's the one, he's our example, right? He's the big brother. He's the first son. We always have that example to reveal the Father. Because we wouldn't know God as Father if it wasn't for the Son. See what I mean? The Son opened up the womb of the earth. The Son of God, the God Son, opened up our understanding to God so that we could now come into union with God as our Father and become sons of God. It's impossible for us to become sons of God otherwise.
Right.
Right? So he's just speaking from that lack of understanding and lack of mirroring because he's got nobody to mirror but himself or maybe others that are doing the same things he's doing.
His father, too. He talks about sometimes.
Yeah. But he doesn't have the word.
Right.
Very interesting. A Christian country is now being invaded by Muslims and third worlders, and you're losing your Christian identity because you don't have enough children to sustain the population.
Yeah.
Because you're only allowed one woman.
Got it.
So this is a interesting point. Whereas a Muslim man can have 4 wives and 16 kids,
and just pump them out,
and they can survive and protect their identity and their culture and their religion. So it's actually very interesting. And before I let you answer, only one country solved this: Hungary. Hungary is a Christian nation, and Viktor Orban is one of the smartest world leaders on the planet. He abolished income tax for any family that has more than 4 children. And he's fixed the population crisis, and the population is increasing because people are getting married and having kids. Hungary's fixed it. No other nation has fixed it because you can't even afford to have 4 or 5 children because they're decimating you and destroying the currency, and they're just doing all this matrix propaganda on purpose anyway. So, besides Hungary, every other Western nation is now importing the Islamic world to sustain itself because Christian nations can't reproduce. So it's interesting what you said. I agree with what you said, but it's also the death throes of Christianity. Christianity is about to be decimated because of that. Because what do you have without people?
You want my answer?
Yeah.
Okay, my answer is this. Never in the day of age did we ever have the power to talk to a mass group of people since the internet.
Yep.
So ironically, we're running into this problem of less of our people, but we also have the gift of reaching out to more people.
Correct.
So another household could have 5 kids, but who's to say that I can't encourage them to have my morals and standpoints?
Absolutely. You could.
So I don't need to procreate. I need to provide and educate.
That's a very interesting point of view. But then you also, this brings us into the Islam versus Christianity argument. And I want to make it very clear to the world that I am not anti-Christian in any way. Most of my family is Christian. My brother is Christian. For a long time when I
Tristan's Christian?
Yeah, he's Christian.
Cool. He's happy and he has fun.
Yeah, that's right. Perhaps that's why. When I first stopped being atheistic, I diverted to Christianity because it was all I knew. Because I was raised Christian. I went to church as a kid. It's all I knew. But you're talking about the fact that, people can come into the nation, but if they become Christians once they arrive, then the Christian faith survives.
Yeah.
But I think that for that to happen, there would have to be some form of power gap or power vacuum, and it's not atheists which are arriving, and it's going to be very difficult to convince them out of Islam into Christianity, and I'll tell you why. I am not an Islamic scholar, and I don't consider myself knowledgeable on Islam. I'm new to the religion. I'm only a year in, and I'm studying as best I can, but there's a lot of people who know more than me. But from my understanding and my practices, Islam is very rigid, and it's strict, and you know what's right and you know what's wrong, and it provides solutions and answers in a very strict, non-ambiguous way. And I feel like if you live a difficult life, like we talked about earlier about why my fan base is so galvanized and why they believe in me, because I offer rigid solutions to problems. And if you come from a difficult place or you were raised in a difficult country or a war zone, you're going to look for that rigidity. I don't think the softness of Christianity, and I don't say that as an insult, I just state that as a matter of fact, will be appealing to people who have come from war zones. I just don't, I think it's going to be very difficult to convert them to Christianity. And we're seeing now in the Western world, huge proportions of Christian countries are now just becoming Islamic strongholds, and they can't be penetrated or changed.
And okay, but you're making it seem like a lot of people that worship Islam, they're very, very strict with their policies. There's a lot that and by the way, let me speak positively about Islam so people don't confuse my nature.
We're friends here, by the way, everyone. We're on the same, I
don't agree. Speak for me. I'm just kidding. No.
Heathen.
No, I really respect Islam for one reason, the way they stand up for their God.
Absolutely.
And I actually take notes from them. So I don't want anybody, in fact, my God is their prophet.
Yep.
So we do see a lot of eye to eye. We just don't see the final destination of who God is.
Correct.
But I definitely respect anybody in their faith. And I think I'd rather you have faith in a God than you have no faith in God at all.
Agreed.
So, but to say that Christians have values and they don't follow them, and Islam does, it's not true. I have many friends. For example, you're Islamic now, but you drink and you smoke.
No, I don't drink.
Not anymore. But there's a lot that I have friends with that do. So the theory of them not following their rules that's just a man. I don't think that's a religion. I think every man falls short.
Yeah.
I think this is the truth. I think an Islamic man that stands in front of me sins against God. And I think a Christian man sins against God.
Oh yeah, we're not perfect in any regard.
Yeah.
But let's tie back to something I said earlier. We're not perfect in any regard. And it's all down to how you once again measure the success of a religion. We talked earlier about measuring the success of a business and life being
Numbers.
about money. Numbers, right?
But why is numbers account when it comes to faith? I think it should be your faith.
That's it. It should be your faith. But faith is very intangible and hard to measure. So I'm just using my limited human brain.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just try and measure the success of a religion. Well, the fastest growing religion is Islam. It's not the biggest. It's the fastest growing.
Yeah.
I think if you were to look at...
Here's what's interesting. Why is it the fastest growing religion?
Islam. I don't know.
Because they're having more babies, right? And they have more wives, right? They can have up to 4 wives. So obviously you can have more kids. It's the fastest, and even that's debatable because a lot of people are leaving Islam too.
Yeah, mosques are shutting down like
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, you look at
I've been seeing
Iran,
that too.
50,000 mosques shut down,
yeah.
right? Out of 70,000.
Yeah.
Right? So that means there's 20,000 left.
Right.
So there's definitely some stuff going on that you can't see and they're going to cover. But here's what's interesting. The fact that they care about that. Like the fact that they're like, because if we're like, man, I know for me, if I'm like, oh, Christianity is the biggest religion. But then it's like, yeah, but who are they counting?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, are these people even really Christian?
Yeah.
They grew up in Christian homes.
They
like,
were born. Yeah, they were
born
raised
into-
Christians, but they really don't follow Jesus. They really don't practice at all.
Right. Like, you can't count somebody who was born in a Christian home as a Christian.
Yeah.
You can't do that. They have, well, you can, because you can call it a Christian, but I'm saying, like, as a follower of Jesus, you have to give your life to Jesus. So you have to make that choice for yourself.
Right.
That's totally different. And I think they can win their battle is even fleshly, is what I'm trying to say. Like,
a numbers
as
thing.
a Islam,
Right.
as the way they view the world and the way they think they can win a battle, even that is like, it's a very
Prideful.
flesh way of seeing it, like
Yeah.
through people, right? Where God's like, no, it's gonna be through people,
Right. It's
And
like
if
David,
that makes sense.
David counting the numbers. Like,
right?
that's why
That's
God
not
told
how-
him not to do that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. All right.
The insanity of the West, I think Islam opposes it hardest in regards to the pure insanity that is being inflicted upon and bestowed upon children in the West. I think Islam
I want to say
opposes it
something, a
hardest.
compliment for them. What I do appreciate is that they don't let you cross bounds, right? So, for example, when they were making a mockery of my Lord and Savior,
Yeah.
I didn't see Christians trying to tear down these movies, and I didn't see Christians trying to, hey, that's not okay, or blah, 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 right? Islamic people were like, you're not talking about a prophet like that.
Correct.
So I find that very beautiful, and I understand that they hold their values.
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you not find that appealing?
Very.
Do you not find it appealing to be part of a religion where you get to stand up for what you really believe in and say, no, you can't say that. No, you won't do that. No, not to us.
Yeah. I think they have beautiful qualities that I should learn from.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I have to worship their God.
I mean, people often ask why I revert.
I mean, when I hear people talking because I've heard a lot of Muslim people talk about that and like that as a feeling of Christianity. But to me, it's like when you look at the actions of Jesus himself, he let them mock him. He let them mock him. He let them. They put the crown of thorns on him. They spit on him. They put the robe on him. They called him the king of the Jews. They mocked him openly.
Because there's no greater love, and you lay your life down for your
Exactly.
friend. You have to lay down your life, like
The need to wanna kill someone for over words. Like, remember we were showing the clip where Charleston White was like, I want to get to the point where a grown man doesn't want to hurt somebody over some words that from someone they don't even know. You know what I mean? Because that shows an insecurity. That shows a flaw, a weakness there. That shows a pride that you're trying to cover up through violence.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So the fact that
But what are you doing it to? It's to a law.
right.
See what I mean? Like, what did I just say earlier? Law of liberty. That's not the law. That's a different law. That's the law of sin and death. See what I mean? Law of liberty leads to life.
Right.
This is a law of sin and death.
Yeah.
Where you uphold people to this law. You can't do this, you can't do this. End of it is death. See what I mean? Like, it's a whole different ball game. But freedom is, you can't have freedom without love, right? There's no greater love than you lay down your life for your friend. You can't have freedom without love.
Right.
So when you love somebody, you're more patient with them.
Right.
What do we teach our kids, right? What do you teach you got 3 little kids here, right? Well, your daughter's she's getting big, but they're still young, right? But what do you got to teach them when they're here? Yeah, they're going to annoy you. He's going to annoy you. She's going to annoy you.
Right.
But you have to be patient with them.
Yeah.
Right? That's love.
Right.
And as you learn and as you grow them in that, and they're not just focused on, oh, they're annoying. What they're focused on, well, they got those things, but that's okay. What do they do that's good? Like, I do this with my kids. What's good about them? Stop focusing on the negative. What do they do for you that's good? Sometimes I make them tell them, like, tell me 5 things that you love about your brother. You know what I mean? Just because to get them out of that mindset, especially when I see them going down that too much, right? But what are we doing? We're training. This is a training ground. Right. Church is supposed to be a training ground on how to love people and how to bring peace that is freedom in a realm so we can grow in the greatest way, or in the most healthy environment. Yeah. Right? That's what we're doing. A family literally represents that.
To Islam.
Yeah. We are cultivating a family in a way where these kids that grow up, parents are learning how to make it the most healthy environment that they can play in, right? On the soccer field. Like, once you get the kids to understand the parameters, right? Like, when they're young, okay, that's out. When it goes out, throw the ball in, right? A little bit more than that, but just play. And eventually they start working it out, right? I'm talking about a very young level. Like, they work it out, and then when they step out of those parameters, you keep them in. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we teach them how to play and be free to play, because how do people do amazing things with their, like, just speaking about soccer, like, people be doing some crazy stuff, right? Yeah. Like moves and how'd you do that? How many times people say, how did you do that? Yeah. Because they had the freedom to play. And you can't have the freedom to play if you don't have an environment that is going to cultivate or nurture that play. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. And I think that's what's missing with Islam.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to go back to that clip I saw, someone breaking down true freedom in a very interesting way, and it was with a guitar. And they said that, you know, if some people will say that true freedom is I can just play whatever I want on this thing, and that's freedom.
I remember that, yeah.
But once you learn the boundaries and the rules to what the notes are, what the keys are, how it all works together,
where to put your fingers,
where your fingers go,
yeah,
then you have the freedom to play beautiful music
within those boundaries.
But that's the real freedom, because that's the only thing that's gonna truly fulfill you. If you're just making noise with that thing, what good is that?
Yeah. And how do you get there? You have to train.
Yeah, you have to train.
You have to train. You're not gonna get there just magically one day.
Right.
It's interesting you said that, because my son just picked up the guitar that Fabian never he asked for Christmas, but he never really played it, and he wants to play it. I'm like, all right, it's gonna take time. You have to train, right? So it's that training aspect, right? But when you're complaining, oh, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's annoying.
I don't understand.
Oh, it hurts.
Oh, my fingers hurt. I remember all of those feelings.
Yeah, if you do that, what happens? You quit.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
This gotta, so now I like guitar, but let me just critique somebody else who plays the guitar because I love the guitar, but I don't really know how to play, but I'll critique them because that's easier to critique somebody. Right. To criticize somebody is easier. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, so you become a critic.
You become a critic.
Yeah.
But then there's no freedom in that.
Right.
Because now you're holding them to your own. Who's the judge? You're the
Right.
judge. Now they're holding them to your standard, right?
Right.
It's based off of what you think is right. You know, and that's what that's the issue with Islam. Because he said, like, I like Islam because it's more rigid. It's this, it's that. Like, it just tells you what to do. Exactly. That's the point.
Right.
Jesus never told people what to do. Jesus asked questions.
Right.
He gave, the Sermon on the Mount. Yeah, he gave instruction. But even in that, it was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, it's not like
made you think.
So, yeah, it's
Always
not
speaking in parables.
right.
Yeah.
He's not just making it easy for you.
Right.
He what did you mean by that? Like, the disciples now got to
Yeah.
go to him like, what did you mean? Exactly. I'm glad you asked.
Right.
See, because now you're engaging and you're caring, right? And that's what it's about. How can you grow in God if he tells you what to do and you do it and that's it? No, you're a slave. You are a slave. And slaves don't get the why.
Yeah.
They just do it. And Islam, they don't believe that God is a father. They don't believe you can be a son. You're just a slave to God. Or you can, let's dress it up because some of the Muslims like to say, no, it doesn't really mean that. It means a servant. Okay, you're just a servant. You're still not a son. So what happens is you stay a slave and the slave doesn't have to know anything.
Yeah.
Right? Jesus says that in John 15. Now I call you friend. The servant, you were servants, but the servant doesn't know everything, right? Now I'm letting you in onto the details, right? That's a different relationship.
Right.
So with God, he gives us that. That's amazing. That's beautiful. That's where beauty happens.
Right.
Beauty doesn't happen in rigidness. Rigidness is not beautiful.
Right.
What's beautiful about that?
Yep.
Nothing.
That's what we get now from these skyscrapers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not the beautiful architecture that we used to get back in the day. It's all these rigid buildings.
Right. But what's beautiful is we all recognize law, right? But I also have to recognize that you have different talents than I have. And I can, if I'm insecure about that, I'll look at you differently. Or I can see you got problems that I don't have, right? But when I'm gracious to you in both ways, right? Or when I'm merciful to you and I'm giving my understanding of God, now I leave a room for you to grow. Grow in terms of God allowing you to grow out of your old self and then grow into your new self. But I can't do that if I think I got you down packed and I know everything about you.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going to keep pushing you into what I think you should be.
Right.
And that's rigid. You know what I mean? And that's no fun.
Right.
How many kids have rebelled because their parents were too strict?
Yep.
Right? To where, no, you can't do this and you can't do that. That's what most Muslim houses are. Right? What happens? The kids, they rebel.
Yeah.
They rebel because it's too rigid. But I believe that's what like more than anything, that's what I'm getting from a lot of this is that God teaches us how to live in freedom and how to love each other to a place where we all grow. And that's why we have to train together.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why we have to practice together. Like we can't learn how to love without each other. You know what I mean? Like you can learn to play the guitar by yourself.
Yeah.
But you can't learn to love by yourself. You can't learn to play. That's why, in a way, I like soccer because it's like the passing and the giving and the receiving of the ball, right? It's like a connection to how we love.
Even with guitar, you can learn to play by yourself, but you're not going to get any joy unless you're playing for other people or with other people.
The point of playing and training in the guitar is to then go and practice with other musicians
or in front of other people,
right?
For that engagement,
right? That's true. That's true. Yeah, I didn't even see it that way.
Yeah. All right, let's keep
And
going.
people often ask why I reverted to Islam, and I heard someone say something that you see life and you see other people as you see yourself. So if you're a thief, you think everyone's a thief. You're worried about everyone stealing from you because you would steal in their position. That's how you like view the world.
It's how cheaters view.
That's how cheaters view the world. That's right. And then I was sitting thinking, well, maybe, and of course, this just came from my mind. I said, well, maybe you see a religion how you see yourself. Like I see myself as somebody who is feared, nobody would want to mock. I see myself as somebody with strict standards and discipline.
Mirror.
I see myself as somebody who stands up for what he believes in and doesn't care if he's assaulted and attacked for it.
Mirror.
Maybe that's why it was so appealing to me. And then I'd sit and I'd study it and I'd read and I'd realize how close it actually is to Christianity. We believe in so many of the same things.
No.
And I don't want to get in trouble here because I am not in his.
But what he's basically saying is, I want to see myself. I want to validate who I am, everything about me in the religion I follow.
Yes.
Like
yes.
there is no, I don't want to have to change things about myself. I want to validate myself
Right.
through the religion I follow.
But does it not go back to what he was saying in the beginning about pride?
Yeah.
See what I mean? It's full circle.
Right.
Because if I can be myself, I can get. I mean, if I can see myself in that, then I can prove myself to myself.
Islamic scholar in any way, but I've had even other people say to me, some Christians who I spoke to who started to read the Quran, they're like, it's just condensed. It's like stronger.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the appeal of it is to me. And I also like having hard yeses and nos. And I believe that if you have a religion where you just accept everything, then you believe in nothing. There has to be a line. In life, there has to be a line that you won't let someone cross. And with God, there should be the same. And my only concern with Christianity, and I argued this with my brother at length, is if God will really, truly forgive anything, then if he'll truly forgive you doing the most heinous acts you can possibly think of, and you repeatedly do them, and you won't learn your lesson, and you'll do them over and over again, and even Christians themselves won't ostracize you, is that too far? Is that too much freedom?
So this is beautiful. It's actually in my notes. I was going to circle this with it. Let me just give me a second to make sure I word this properly.
Absolutely.
Let's circle to forgiveness.
Yeah.
How many times should you forgive a man?
Well, that's a really good question because we are sinners and we make endless mistakes.
And the prophet that you see as Jesus, do you know what he talks about forgiveness as?
Tell me.
Peter asks him, how many times should you forgive a man? And he says 7 times 77. And then he also describes the way
It's not
judgment
true.
day comes.
He's close, but
7 times 70.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's key, because it's 490.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Where was Jesus born? What city?
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. That numeric value, Bet-Lachem, means house of bread, 490.
Okay.
There's a bunch of, and even like when you take this bread, take this wine, for the forgiveness of sins, right? So forgiveness is connected to all of that, right? 490, even like 7 times 7 is 49, right? But 4 plus 9 is 13. And then there were 13 years from Abraham when Ishmael was born to Isaac being conceived. 13 years, right? And that's a transition period of coming out of a fleshly way of thinking to a trusting God way of thinking. Because God couldn't, Abraham or Sarah couldn't conceive the promised Isaac until they came out of their old way of thinking. So through the 13 years, God had to forgive. He had to keep leading him. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. He kept coming back to him, right? And then finally he got it. That 13th year of Ishmael, that's when they circumcised the whole house of Abraham.
Okay.
So even like 490, 490, 49, like all these things are connected to forgiveness. How God takes us through the process of forgiveness. And what's 1 plus 3? 4. 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 is that open door. So now we're able to open into that. We're able to come into that door of rest. See how we can't really have rest until we receive God's forgiveness? You know what I mean? And in order to receive God's forgiveness, we also have to forgive. So we have to learn how to forgive. We have to learn how to let go of things that we've been holding on to or holding against people, right? Ways we see people, our insecurities, whatever. I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay.
Describes the way judgment day comes. And he goes, you will be measured by the measurement that you gave others. So the way you look at your brothers and sisters, that man wronged you, but you said, "Oh, you're dead to me. You're dead. I don't even want it."
Yep.
That's how you'll be measured.
Yep.
But here, let me circle back. Repentance isn't doing the same sin over and over and enjoying it and asking for forgiveness. That's why God doesn't judge your actions, like I said. He judges the reflection of your heart.
Yep.
So if I sinned against you, there's two types of men. Andrew, dude, listen, I'm a police. Andrew, I messed up, dude. Like, I'm so sorry that I did this, dude. I didn't mean it. This is what happened. And you could see the stress in his eyes from him hurting you. Hey, Dad, I know you told me not to do this. And I was with my friends or, hey, Andrew, my bad, bro. Yeah, it won't happen again. This fucking guy.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Of course there
you
is.
can't hide your heart from God.
Absolutely.
So that's why I say only God could judge. And I remember what I was going to say about your God and my God, right? I believe that if there is a God out there, he wants you to come in the same direction that I'm going, the vice versa. So I think I never want to debate religion ever, because then I'm trying to disprove your God, and that might be holding your heart, and I don't want to do that.
I agree.
But what we could do is I say, I'll pray to my God, and you pray to your God, to open up one of our eyes and hearts. And whoever is wrong or whoever is right will guide us with wisdom to the right direction.
I love that. And you know what? I kind of feel like when I'm talking to people of other religious faiths, and like I said, I have to be very careful. I'm not an Islamic scholar. And like you said, I don't want to ever insult Christians or insult other religious faiths. The only people I like to argue with correctly and properly are atheists, because they need to learn the light.
At least he knows, like, you know, because he said that over and over again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a scholar. I don't really know. You know, so he's still learning.
Yeah.
He's still learning. He doesn't really know, but it kind of shows him where it shows where he was coming from. He can't hide behind that either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm kidding. I feel like if there's one God, let's imagine there's one sentence, and it's the most beautiful sentence that you can possibly think of that can be constructed with the most compendious and gorgeous language that can be put together. I feel like the different religions are perhaps different languages to say the same thing.
Yep.
And, you know, German sounds different to Russian, sounds different to English, but you can say it in different ways, but it all means the same thing. And I feel like that's the best way to look at it. And to a degree, the Quran also says the same thing. It says that we're a lot closer than we are apart. And I think when I meet somebody of another faith, I still feel happy for them. And I feel glad for them. It's only when I meet somebody who sits down and thinks they're a smart ass. Oh, no, we came from monkeys. I'm like, oh, bro, you need help. Those are the people I argue with.
Those people are more lost than ever. And here's the thing, man. Like, a lot of people will ask me, like, how do you forgive? Because forgiveness is sometimes it gets so hard, especially when you know that that person wrongs you purposefully.
Yep.
And my theory goes back to this. Forget the way I measure is the way he's going to measure me.
Yep.
But my God came and paid a penalty for me.
Yep.
Because I couldn't pay that penalty. How can I look at another man knowing that every time I come on my knees and I say, God, like, provide me shelter, provide me safety, provide me this, and he always comes through for me. And then I wrong him. And by the way, this is the worst part. I walk into sin willingly, man. You think that I feel good having sex with my girlfriend? I do. That's besides the point. I had to say I do, because I do. I felt like I was gonna lie.
And she's watching.
I have great time having sex, but afterwards it haunts me because we're not married.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a bad example. Let me take that out, because but you know what? No, that's true. Because I walk into that, right? I walk into sin. That was my choice. I walked into it. Yeah. But God knows my heart. He knows what I'm dealing with. He knows my steps. He hovers me because I ask him to go before me. So he's making the path for me. Now, people, when they see me talk about God, they make it seem like I'm so holier than thou and I don't make mistakes. No, the beautiful part is I am an endless bucket of mistakes.
We all are.
But how gracious is God to be like, I get it, man.
Okay. Nothing. Yeah. That was a good discussion they had, man. I gotta go watch that whole interview.
Yeah, it was good. There's some other good stuff in there. I really just wanted to show like how the underlying thing of that freedom thing and even like not understanding it, like, because he brings up even forgiveness and like not understanding that grace thing.
Yeah.
And it's connected to how God teaches us, like, forgiveness is determined upon, like, well, I'm raising you up and I'm forgiving you so you can understand my love, because love is connected to forgiveness. And as I'm forgiving you because I trust you, I have hope in you, I know you're going to get there. That's how God sees us.
Right.
That's beautiful to me, because like he was saying, you know, we all mess up, and you know, I don't know, but he gotta get that together. Like, dude, you stop living with your. But I don't know where he came from in terms of, you know, his dynamic. but you got to get that worked
Yeah.
out, you know.
He admitted to it.
But at least
freaky deaky, bro. Like,
yeah, but at least he recognizes it and he wants it to change, right? And that's the thing. If we recognize it, we turn to God. We recognize too, heck, I keep doing this. I'm weak, right?
Yep.
But yet God, he believes in me.
Mm-hmm.
He's speaking to me when I don't deserve to be spoken to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's beautiful. How many fathers turn their backs on their sons because they do one thing, right? How many fathers turn their backs on their sons because their son says one thing that they can't, they can't stand to hear, right? Or challenges them sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, how many stories do you hear about a Christian dad whose son says, you know, I think I'm gay. And it's like, you're out of the it's like totally disowned, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But instead of like, all right, let's work through this.
Or going to God with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's the working through. But not just giving up.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because to me, that reflects more on, as a father, what I'm saying is I recognize that if I'm so upset with my kid that I recognize this in myself dealing with my kids. I'm talking about real stuff. If I, as a father, recognize stuff and I either don't want to see it and I ignore it, or I see it and I go so hard at it, I'm actually reflecting myself. I'm actually really only looking at myself in terms of how it makes me look.
Yeah.
Right? And then it ends there. But if I can take that and bring it to God, it doesn't end with me.
Right.
And there's still hope. You know what I mean? And as fathers, how many of us need that? You know, how many men need an outlet? How many men need some of that weight off their shoulders? Because we don't know what to do sometimes, right? We don't. How many men need that?
Yeah.
And we have it in Jesus.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's wrap it up there. Thank you guys for watching.
Hold on. All this ISIS talk. I remember seeing the video. I just sent it to you on YouTube.
All this ISIS talk.
Not the Islam.
He said ISIS talk.
But 8 years ago, SNL did a skit that's kind of predicting the future. I don't know if you've seen it. It's pretty funny.
Life is but a dream. It's what you make it. All
bad.
ISIS?
The fun. At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
I can't. Okay.
This
Our whole stream will get flagged for that.
Oh my gosh, that doesn't even make sense, like in reality. But
no, I get it.
No.
Though. Like it's the whole setup of like you think she's going off to college, and she got recruited by ISIS.
I was wondering because I'm like, what's her bag on? Why she got this bag on her? This army bag on her back.
What are these other things you sent me, dude?
Huh?
Moan, yeah.
I don't know. I sent you something.
See J6 on CNN.
Oh, that was the thing when
it wasn't working.
It wasn't working.
Okay.
Like, it was the thing. But yeah, that's just funny because you know how white liberals are now for
Right.
Hamas and stuff like that.
I mean, we just saw the trans Muslim.
I'm a trans Muslim woman.
Gays for Palestine.
Yeah, gays for Palestine. They're out here supporting Hamas. Yeah, it's interesting times. All right, let's wrap it up now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Again, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to the Young Lion podcast. Again, just a community of guys, family, friends, our mother who come together once a week. You know, these are the conversations that we used to have all the time anyway, just kind of sharpening each other, keeping each other accountable, always building our community, trying to make each other better fathers, better husbands, better leaders in our community. So, you know, we'd like to talk about this stuff because it matters. So if there's something that you think you connect with and you want to share with other people, hit that like button, share this video. Also, you can become a member on our Patreon by going to patreon.com/youngliontv. For as little as $3 a month, you can sign up and become a member over there and support what we do here to help us, you know, not have the issues we had today, get our equipment up, and, you know, constantly trying to get better cameras, better equipment, better cables and everything, lighting, all that stuff. So sign up over there. Also, don't forget we got merch, the Young Lion merch, and we also have music, the Jatam music, which is streaming right now. Go stream Grateful right now. And other than that, man, thank you guys for watching. Again, share the video, and we'll see you guys next week. Well, will we be here next week? Yeah, that'll be the day after Christmas, right?
Yeah. Christmas
right.
is Monday.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week, man. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. We love you. Peace.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go and fight people now.